The following is a presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball, brought to you by the Gatemen Baseball Network in conjunction with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Wareham Gatemen had one of their most successful seasons in franchise history.
Skied out to left field. This ball is way back. See Colton Shaver. To a pitch. That is rocketed out to right field. Back goes the right fielder, and that one's gone. An absolute bomb to right field for Gavin Sheets.
But despite their regular season success, the 2016 Gatemen were sent packing after the first round of the CCBL playoffs.
Is this ball fair? It is! Pro comes in to score the game's tying run. McKinnon comes in as well. Bourne has walked off, and Wareham's season is over.
Now a new season and a fresh start in Wareham. College baseball's finest are coming from all over the country in pursuit of the Gatemen's 8th Cape Cod Baseball League Championship.
Through the infield, coming around to score is Topa Play at the plate, and Metz is safe too. It's a 2 RBI single. 0-1 count on Luke Bonfield, who swings and drives this one deep to left field. That one is into the trees.
That's sent right up the middle, past the dive at a shortstop, and in for a base hit. Rounding third, heading home is Bonfield. An RBI single for Robbie Metz.
Off speed, throwing back to first base McIver, and the tag is in time from Sable. Driven out to right center and deep. This one is gone. Pay is second of the night, his second 3-run shot.
Chopped in the infield, coming over is Pullitz. He doesn't handle the baseball. The run scores. The Gatemen win their 3rd consecutive home opener.
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and you're listening to it live on the Gatemen Baseball.
Doran Park is a little bit wet right now, but it should be drying up, and we should be playing baseball here between the Wareham Gatemen and the Bourne Braves. Thank you for joining our live audio broadcast here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Sam Corman, joined by Connor Federico. Connor, how you doing today?
Good to see you.
It's great. We're sitting right across from each other. This is awesome. We'll hear from Jacob Toby in a few minutes, as well as Claudia Chikami, our sideline reporter. But right now, we're just waiting for this game to start. It was supposed to start at 6 p.m. The rain came through at about 5 p.m. and delayed the game, and it's no longer raining. It hasn't been raining for about half an hour now. What do you think the deal is right now, Connor? You're no meteorologist, but...
I mean, you're the group meteorologist. I think you're just going to answer this question yourself. But
okay.
I mean, what I will say is that you're right. This game probably should have started when it was scheduled to at 6 o'clock. I mean, it's been fine since 5 o'clock. And
yeah.
Everybody's out here. I mean, for the weather being as bad as it is and as gloomy as it's supposed to be for the rest of the night, Doran Park's got a nice little crowd here tonight. Not like the 4th of July, but pretty good. And we're just awaiting the start of this game right now.
And I've been tracking the weather. Everyone's been tracking the weather. It came through an hour ago, and by 6 p.m. it was fine. It was pretty dry. The field was drying up nicely, and no one was ready to start the game when it was supposed to be started. And at this point, 6:15 comes around. We're waiting potentially for another cell to come by, and the wind is picking up right now. I can feel the wind picking up, and when that happens, rain's usually going to follow. So
well, the Gatemen are finally in uniform, which they were not for most of this afternoon. They were in their warm-up jerseys.
So
getting it together now.
Lots to look forward to today, though. Big pitching matchup. We'll get more on that from Jacob Toby. We'll leave it for him. And also a big division rival matchup as well. Standings are pretty close right now.
The Gatemen are in 3rd place for the first time in the month of July. I mean, and a very long time into June. So, they're tied with Falmouth right now, who didn't play last night. So that's why they're tied in terms of points. Falmouth has one game played less than the Gatemen do right now. But if they can win tonight at Bourne, it would be their 2nd straight win. They won yesterday against Brewster 2-1. That was a good one. For the Gatemen pitching staff. The hitting definitely needs some work, and I think the Gatemen are trying to find that swing. They've progressively done better, ever since, tying that game rather 9-9 with Falmouth. They fell off a ledge, and then they've slowly tried to work their way back. So I think now we're at the point where the Gatemen, they're waiting for that offensive explosion that they have gotten so often throughout the season. Maybe they'll struggle, but then they'll put up an 11 spot or a 13 spot on you. So that's where we are right now with this Gatemen team. We're waiting for that offensive outburst, but the pitching they're facing tonight, it's going to be hard to get it.
Oh, absolutely. Gatemen are currently coming in today 2-1 on the season versus the Bourne Braves, 1-0 here at Doran Park. It's now time to send it over to our host for today, Jacob Toby. Jacob.
Thank you very much, Sam, and welcome into Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. You just heard from the guys Sam Corman, Connor Federico. They'll be on the call tonight. Expecting a 6:45 first pitch here if we're going to get one, depending on the rain. Right now the field is prepped. Players are out throwing around, practicing. We're just waiting to see what the final word is on that one. Of course, my name's Jacob Toby, and you are listening to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. And we'll start you off with the pitching matchup for tonight. First, for the visiting Wareham Gatemen, it's going to be Joey Matulovic, the California Golden Bear. He's just finished his sophomore season. He's a right-handed pitcher, 6'3", 203 pounds, out of Danville, California. Made his last appearance on the 8th of July at the Falmouth game. Went 4 innings in relief, 1 earned run, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. Showed really great stuff there in those 4 innings. He got the loss, though, in his outing before that on July 1st versus the Bourne Braves. Went 3 2 innings in the start, 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. So this Bourne lineup did pretty well against the California Golden Bear. We'll see what he can do. We see a fastball, 87 to 91, secondary stuff as well, curveball and changeup. And for the Bourne Braves, it'll be Zach Hess, 6'6", 216-pound right-handed pitcher out of LSU, getting word that he is only going to get about 3 starts here on the Cape, talking to Bourne broadcaster Kyle Kervichal before the game, and he was saying that Hess will be on an innings limit as he just finished his season going with LSU to the title game in his freshman season. 29 appearances, 6 games started, 7-1 with a 2.62 ERA. Got 4 saves in there in 58 1/3 innings of work, 82 strikeouts, 27 walks. Expect a fastball up to 96 miles an hour and a slider. He was also a 2016 35th round draft selection by the New York Yankees. He is a Forest, Virginia native. And now we will send it to the highlights from last night. It was a nice win, a 2-1 win for the Wareham Gatemen over the Brewster Whitecaps.
Thanks, Jacob. I'm here with yesterday's starter, Miller Hogan. Miller, you had another really solid outing for you, 5 innings.
The Gatemen beat the Brewster Whitecaps 2-1 last night at Spillane Field, and it was a great effort from that pitching staff. We will get to that in a little bit. First, we pick it up in the 4th inning where Tristan Pompey makes an unbelievable catch in his right field debut.
Gasper drives this one to deep right field. Heading back is Pompey. He's at the track, leaps and makes the play. What a play by Tristan Pompey.
Amazing stuff from Tristan Pompey. We've been waiting to see that all season long, and he's finally starting to get out there in the outfield. Joey Matulovic was red hot last night for the Gatemen. Had a strikeout in the top of the 4th, and then the Gatemen bats got going in the bottom of the inning.
Here it is, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Fools Jacob Toby. Fools Hunter Bishop. Absolutely fly ball to the outfield. Likely scores a speedy McIver. Line drive. Not caught. On to first in time, but McIver scores. Jake Anchia with an RBI ground out to shortstop.
Jake Anchia getting the job done there for the Wareham Gatemen. Miller Hogan strikes out 5 batters on the night, and Tanner Dotson comes in and strikes out 3.
Swing and a miss. Change up, catches Costas down, swinging strikeout number 4 for Miller Hogan. Swing and a miss. Another swinging strikeout for Miller Hogan. That's number 5 on the day. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Julian Infante strikes out, swinging. Another strikeout. The second for Tanner Dotson.
Nick Dunn, though, does get the best of Tanner Dotson in the bottom of the 6th. Has the RBI single, but Dotson would battle back to end the inning.
Strikeout swinging for Julian Infante. Here's the pitch. Lined into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Scoring is Hunter Bishop. It's a tie game on a clutch RBI single from Nick Dunn. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. breaking ball fools Chandler Taylor. He's down on strikes for the second time today.
How about this guy, Tanner Dodson? He comes in, pitches 2 innings, strikes out 3 batters, does let up Brewster's only run of the night, but then the next half inning, in the bottom of the 7th, comes through, gets on base, leading off the inning, and then Stephen Kwan gives this one a ride out to center field for the Gatemen. It didn't leave Spillane Field, but it did get the job done and scores Dodson.
Runner goes. Kwan drives this one to deep right, and under it is Chandler Taylor. Duran heads back to first. Tagging from third is Dodson. Here's the throw. Dodson safe. The Gatemen take a 2-1 lead on a sac fly from Stephen Kwan.
Last night's player of the game, Dalton Roach, getting in on the strikeout action, comes in the top of the 8th inning, lets on the leadoff hitter Connor Smith, then strikes out the next 3 batters he faces, 3 out of a total 13 strikeouts for Gatemen pitchers last night, and Dalton Roach certainly earned that player of the game honor.
10 RBIs on the season for the DH. Swings and a miss. The first out of the inning for Dalton Roach. Brewster down by 1. He's a big runner. 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The second consecutive strikeout for Dalton Roach. 2-2. Here's the pitch, a big one to Hunter Bishop. Breaking ball called, strike 3. Dalton Roach hangs the breaking ball right in there, and he strikes out the side.
Then in the 9th, Gateman closer Brett Canine coming in, looking to get his 2nd save of the season. Hey, I mentioned 13 total strikeouts from Gateman pitchers last night. Well, Canine had 2 of them in the top of the 9th. He got his 2nd save just like that.
2-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and on to first in time. Julian Infante strikes out. Graffinino waits the 2-2 from Brett Canine. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Graffinino strikes out swinging. Brett Canine closes the deal. The Gatemen win it 2-1 over the Brewster Whitecaps at Spillane Field. They snap a 2-game losing streak, a 3-game winless streak, and they're back in the win column against an Eastern Division foe.
And so the Wareham Gatemen get that 2-1 win versus the Brewster Whitecaps. Brewster had 10 hits. They only got 1 run to show for it. Wareham got 2 runs on 5 hits. No team made an error last night. Winning pitcher, Tanner Dodson, coming in in relief. Losing pitcher was Joel Molatier, and the save, of course, going to Brett Canine last night. Miller Hogan, the starter for the Wareham Gatemen, went 5 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Art Claudiich came in, caught up with the Wareham Gatemen pitcher.
Thanks, Jacob. I'm here with yesterday's starter, Miller Hogan. Miller, you had another really solid outing for you. 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts. So what were you really working on between these past 2 starts?
Well, this last start I tried more to establish the 4-seam fastball because I've been pitching more off of the sinker in the last 2. And, I mean, it's just encouraging to see that both ways are effective. So I have the option, I guess, going forward to really – just depending on what's working better that day, I can use both of them. So that's just good to have. How is it knowing that, that was working for you and seeing the progress that Lawler and the rest of the pitching staff is really working with you on? It's really encouraging because especially in school ball and stuff, I didn't really have much of a sinking fastball or anything. So that's been a really nice surprise to have here, and it's really helped me progress, obviously, with the success I've been having. Now, the previous few nights have been tough losses and really close games for you guys. And again, last night was another close game. So did you face any pressure going out there knowing that you wanted to pitch really well to keep them down? I mean, no, that's just, baseball works out that way sometimes. You're just going to lose close games. That's just how it goes. So, I mean, the game before doesn't really affect my mindset going into my start or anything. I'm trying to, my mindset's pretty much the same. I want to have my best stuff, and I want to attack hitters and get quick outs and that kind of stuff. So, how big was last night's game? A really solid pitching performance from everyone after a few rough nights. So, was it encouraging to all the pitchers knowing that you could go out there really strong last night? Yeah, I think, just every time you win a 2-1, 3-2 game kind of like that, it just boosts, especially the pitcher staff. But it takes a lot of pressure off the hitters because last night we faced a guy that was really good. He went, 5-6 scoreless, I think. And so it helps. It makes it easier to hit when the hitters know that the pitchers are on a roll and they don't have to put up 5-7 runs a game to win.
And finally, I got to speak with your family yesterday. So how nice was it having your family come from all over to get to see you play here?
It's really special. I mean, they do a great job. They're all from St. Louis, so they get to as many games as they can. I didn't know for sure that they were all coming in because it was actually my cousin's daughter's birthday. So I wasn't sure if they were going to make it or not, but I walked out for the top of the second inning, and I'm sure everybody in the ballpark heard them. So that was fun.
Great. Thanks, Miller.
Yep,
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Claudia. Good stuff there from Miller Hogan. Again, 5 strong innings of work. No earned runs, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. The Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Also, make sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. We're going to take a short break here on the Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health, but when we come back, we will take a look at the starting lineups and the keys to the game. Right back after this.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Back here at Bourne Park, Jacob Toby with you here on the Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health, and we're going to take a look at the starting lineups for the both teams tonight. Wareham Gatemen will start with them. Stephen Kwan's going to be leading it off. He's in center field. Tanner Dodson will bat second. Kyle Kasser is the shortstop. He bats third. William McIver at first base bats fourth. John Topa in left field tonight. Tristan Pompey in right field for his second straight start. Jaron Duran, the second baseman, bats seventh. Blake Sable doing the catching, batting eighth. Robbie Metz will round out the order. He's at third. He bats ninth. The Bourne Braves lineup goes like this. Grant Witherspoon will lead it off. He's in right field. Grant Williams, so Grant at the top of your lineup. Williams is at second base, batting second. Scott Schreiber, the DH. Zach Susi doing the catching. He's going to be batting fourth. Spencer Brickhouse at first base. Andrew Freejay at third. Jameson Hanna, the left fielder, bats seventh. Tyler Fitzgerald, the shortstop, bats eighth. Andy Atwood in center field will bat ninth. Again, the Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime at pressbox@gatemen.org. Again, feel free to send us your questions, comments. We'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. And also follow the Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, following in on all the action as well. Take a look at the standings real quick throughout the Cape League. Katuitt leads the West at 14-10-1, 29 points. This Bourne Braves team is second place, 13 and 12, 26 points. Wareham tied for third, 11, 13 and 1, tied with Falmouth, who did not play versus Hyannis yesterday. They are 11, 12 and 1, 23 points as well. Hyannis rounds out the Western Division 9, 13 and 2 with 20 points. And over in the East Division, Orleans still leading it, 16 and 9, 32 points on the season. YD trailing them 14, 10 and 1, 29 points. Brewster, who we just saw yesterday, 12, 12 and 1, 5 points, good for third place. Chatham 12 and 13, they are good for fourth place, 24 points. Harwich in the cellar, 8, 16 and 1, 17 points with league worst negative 33 run differential. So that is the standings throughout the West and the East. We're going to take a short break here on the Gatemen Pregame Live presented by South Coast Health. But when we come back, we should have first pitch, and we'll send you to the guys right after this.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with the Celebrity Softball Game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
Back here at Dorn Park, Jacob Toby with you here on the Gatemen Pregame Live presented by South Coast Health. We are going to have first pitch here in a little bit. We'll send it to the guys, Sam Corman, Connor Federico. Don't get wet, fellas.
Batting third, the shortstop, number 13, from the University of Oregon, Kyle Kasher.
Welcome back, and we're going to play some baseball at least. I mean, for now, and I hope forever, but it is windy, not that rainy though. Not raining at all right now, but we'll be tracking it.
There's a bit of drizzle at the moment. It's almost like a mist, but there's no fog. The clouds aren't low. It's not that bad. This is certainly playable. The infield looks fine. It's just about anticipating what might happen. And if what's happening is what your radar says is happening, this might be delayed again in a couple innings from now.
Potentially, and I mean, we're tracking this storm. It might miss Bourne to the north. That's the potential. That's the
hope.
That's the hope.
Well,
that
it is right now.
Having. Right now, it's all missing to the north, and if it continues to do that, then that will be great. But there is this big cell tracking along eastern Connecticut into Rhode Island right now. And right now that would be online to come and hit Bourne. But at the same time, a lot of this storm has been breaking up over Rhode Island and over the Fall River, New Bedford area. And if that continues to happen, it might continue to miss to the north. So
thanks, Rhode Island.
Yes, Rhode Island just taking it all in and then leaving it nice and dry for the Cape. So Zach Hess on the mound for the Bourne Braves on an innings limit, but get to see one of the best pitchers in all of college baseball this season. for his debut, nonetheless, here in Bourne. So, are you excited? And what are you expecting out of him?
Fastballs, high heat fastballs that the Gatemen have not seen yet this summer. I know that we talk about Tristan Pompey being 1-for-1 against this guy in the SEC season. Luke Bonfield, Arkansas, also in the SEC. So, you know, there are some guys on this team for the Gatemen that know of him, know what he can do. You know, actually, I'm sure they all know of him and know what he can do. With the experience, though, it's, you know, Pompey has it, Bonfield has only a bit. Bonfield has only, oh, that's true, too. So, I mean, but even on the bench, you can say, hey, this is what this guy's got, this is where he's going to locate, this is how he's going to try to get you out. I mean, just having those guys on your team definitely helps.
Yeah, Tristan Pompey has faced Zach Hess once before in-game. Kentucky played LSU 4 times this season. LSU won 2, Kentucky won 2. As we're ready for the anthem here at Bourne Park.
Please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight we are honored to have back Tom Harding, all the way from the state of Arizona.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Also joining the players on the field tonight were coaches and players from Bourne Youth Baseball.
The Braves defense has taken the field, and the national anthem has been sung. A great job here in Bourne. It looks to be like a Little League celebration night here at Bourne Park. The kids are lining the field, and looks like there'll be a quick ceremonial first pitch before Zach Hess begins his warm-ups for Bourne. Zach Susi, the catcher for the Bourne Braves, catching today, and Yukon guy. Southington, Connecticut native behind the plate. And it's honestly, it's not a miracle, but it's pretty impressive that this game is beginning today. I mean, with the way the rain was about 45 minutes ago, they're really lucky that all this stuff's missing to the north as of now, and they could continue to get lucky as the night moves on, but right now we could have a good hour to hour and a half before the next threat of rain really comes. I might be wrong, but
well, with these two pitchers on the mound, we could maybe even get through 5 innings in an hour and a half. I mean, if it wasn't for that big umpire delay in last night's game where they were trying to figure out Tanner Dodson's role in the lineup in about the 7th or 8th inning, that game could have been under 2 hours. Bourne last night, they played a game in 2 hours, 7 minutes. So these are both teams that really rely on their pitching and their defense to begin with. And now we're in a situation where we're cramped for time. I think the pitchers are, you know, even under a little bit more pressure. But, I mean, Zach Hess on the mound right now. Just watching him warm up is exciting.
You heard Jacob Toby, if you were listening just about 15 minutes ago, run through the lineups. But we'll do it again for you here at Bourne Park. First for the Wareham Gatemen, we'll get you the Bourne lineup in the bottom half of the frame. Stephen Kwan's waiting in the on-deck circle right now. He's going to lead off the game on Zach Hess. Tanner Dodson DHing. He's batting second. Kyle Casters, the shortstop, will bat third. William McIver at first will bat cleanup. John Topa at the 5 hole will be in left field today. Tristan Pompey batting 6th is in right. Jaron Duran batting 7th at second base. Blake Sables catching will bat 8th. Robbie Metz is batting 9th at third base. And they're going to face one of the best young studs in college baseball this season, Zach Hess, a bullpen reliever for LSU. They're going to try to bring him to a starting role in the future.
Yeah, and it's going to be a really, really fun night. I mean, for the Gatemen, it's going to be a challenge because you got to face this Zach Hess guy, and it's gonna it's gonna be a challenge. But you gotta, you only have one SEC guy tonight, and that's you, that's me.
Here's the pitch to Stephen Kwan. It's outside. Game is underway here at Durham Park. Zach Hess on the mound. It's a 1-1 count on Stephen Kwan. Two teams that made it to the semifinals or further in this year's College World Series. These two faced each other in the semifinals, so they're pretty familiar with each other. Stephen Kwan and Zach Hess. Oregon State versus LSU. What a series that was. Went 3 games before LSU came out on top in that rubber match in Omaha. Kwan, the lefty, number 51, facing number 37 in white. Fastball outside, 3-1.
Yeah, and Kwan doing a good job right now taking some of these fastballs outside, trying to just right now locate the pitches in his mind, figure out which one he wants to take for a ride or if he wants to take ball 4.
Here's the big kick from Hess. He delivers the fastball fouled away by Kwan. Appeared to be at the belt or higher. 3-2.
95 miles per hour on that one. And we're in for a real treat. Matulovic, he can hit about 94. I mean, 95 is just at the bottom of Hess's arsenal.
Zach Hess, a 35th round pick by the Yankees in 2016. Chopper to the third baseman, Frige. Over to first, it goes low and past the first baseman, Brickhouse. Kwan turns past first and gets into second on an error. So a leadoff disastrous play by the Bourne defense, and that allows Kwan to be in scoring position immediately.
All right, good start for the Gatemen. I mean, it's not conventional. I think that was going to be an infield base hit anyway, just based on how high Stephen Kwan chopped that to the third baseman, Frige, who's usually a pretty good defensive shortstop. We've seen him only a bit at third base. But, yeah, tough play for the first baseman trying to pick that one out of the ground. So right now Hess and his catcher Susi are going to talk it over, figure out how to get Dodson out. I would be surprised if we didn't see him sack bunt here.
Zach Hess brings the heat. Mid-90s fastball, high 70s on the slider. 7-1 this season with LSU as a relief pitcher. 2.62 ERA in 29 appearances. Here's the pitch. Broken bat lined right to the second baseman Williams. Kwan smartly standing on second base as that ball was nearby, but Williams makes the grab, and there's one out in the first inning on Tanner Dodson.
Yep, so Dodson does not bunt. He tries to hit on the left side, the switch hitter, and he is retired. I mean, this is a good part of the Gatemen order.
And Hess just shattered his bat.
Yeah, I mean,
it
was a good pitch on the inside corner. And, that's what he's going to do to you today. But three lefties to start off this lineup against the righty Hess. That's a good thing for the Gatemen lineup.
Absolutely. Hess, of course, pitched in the College World Series this season in the final as well against Florida in Game 2. Here's the pitch. Lined in the center field. Could it hang on enough? And it does. Atwood, the center fielder, makes the play and gets it in. For the second out of the first inning, Kyle Kasser is retired.
Well, I mean, to begin this game, Stephen Kwan worked a full count, a really long at-bat, ended up reaching on an infield single and then an error getting him to second base. The next two Gatemen hitters, Dodson, Kasser, they swing early in the count. They are retired up the middle of the field. So, now this is a different situation. You had a runner in scoring, nobody out. Now there's 2 outs. Got to see what McIver can do. He's certainly capable.
He is the first righty of the lineup to face Zach Hess. Of course, with that slider, it's tough for these righty batters to do anything off of him. Fastball outside into the glove of the catcher, Susi. Fun for a guy like Susi out of you to come here and catch for this guy. I mean, apologize for the technical difficulties we're experiencing, the little noise in the background. We'll try to get that resolved as soon as possible. The righty in the stretch, Zach Hess. The elevator delivers, swing and a miss by McIver. 1-1.
Quan has a huge lead over there at second right now. It seems like nobody's really paying much attention to him over there, the middle infielders, Fitzgerald and Williams. You know, he has a lot of speed. I think on a base hit to the outfield, he'll score from second either way with 2 outs. But definitely big secondary lead. He needs to be careful.
The 1-1 coming in from Hess to Williams. Here's the pitch. Inside on a fastball. 2-1.
Very close on that inside corner there. Hess, when he misses, just narrowly misses the plate. Susi doing a little frame job there.
You know, interestingly enough, of the great season he had, Zach Hess was not freshman All-SEC. And
well, I mean, it's such a stacked conference.
He lost the vote to another relief pitcher. We'll get to that in a second. The 2-1 pitch to William McIver comes in. It's a slider on the outside corner, framed well by Zach Susi, and it's 2-2. But the reliever that won the freshman All-SEC this year was a guy by the name.
They only take one reliever on that All-SEC?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe a closer as well, but I'm not sure. A reliever and then one or two starters. But TJ Sycamore out of Missouri, an Iowa native, had a really good season this year and just kind of stole that away from Hess. It was one of the only bright spots on that Missouri roster this year. They had a solid season. They were 21-1 out of conference, and then he went into the SEC play and kind of struggled a little bit. Just barely missed the NCAA tournament, the field of 64. 3-2 after a ball from Hess. McIver trying to work something with a runner in scoring position, 2 out in the top half of the first. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Hess gets his first strikeout of the game. No runs for the Gatemen onto the bottom half of the first. The Bourne Braves coming to bat on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Welcome back. Bottom half of the first inning, Joey Matulovic on the mound for the Gatemen. Wareham failed to score on Zach Hess in the top half of the first. They got a hit, but the next 3 were retired.
Well, our first time seeing Matulovic in a little bit, and certainly an exciting outing for him. He did struggle against the Braves his last time out.
Matulovic's first pitch up high to the leadoff hitter, Grant Witherspoon. Witherspoon, the right fielder, leading off this game for Bourne. That pitch fouled away. And 1-1. We'll run you through the Bourne lineup. Grant Witherspoon, he's in the box right now. Leading off out of Tulane University, Grant Williams, kind of a similar name, hitting second out of Kennesaw State. Swing and a miss by Witherspoon on Matulovic, 1-2.
Yeah, and this is what Matulovic wants to do. He wants to get ahead in the count. He wants to beat you with his off-speed pitches.
Did he go on the pitch? Did he check over to third? No, he did not, says the third base umpire. In 2-2 now from Matulovic to Grant Witherspoon. Scott Schreiber hitting third at DH. Zach Susi catching at cleanup. Pitch is low, full count. Spencer Brickhouse, first base, batting fifth. Andrew Frige is at third base, he'll bat sixth. Jamison Hanna batting seventh and left. Tyler Fitzgerald batting eighth at short. Grounder to first. Good play by the first baseman MacGyver. He gets it to Matulovic, but he drops it. And reaching is Grant Witherspoon on the first play of the game for Bourne's offense.
Yeah, that was a tough play for both Willie MacGyver ranging to the second base side of the infield and having to make a toss back to first base. That was just behind Matulovic. Even if Matulovic had caught that ball, I think Witherspoon's speed would have beaten him to the bag. So that's definitely a tough play for the Gatemen, but you do get a ground ball to start off this game, and I think that's what Matulovic wants.
He scored a hit. The ball went off the tip of the glove of Matulovic. Couldn't really tell if it was a throw a little bit behind him or if maybe he should have caught it. Pitch is outside to Williams, 1-0, the Kennesaw State product down in the Atlanta suburbs. Hit 68 hits in 54 games this year for the infielder. Wearing number 4, throw over to first, not in time to get Witherspoon. MacGyver throws it right back to his teammate, his fellow Pac-12 brethren, Joey Matulovic.
Robbie Metz in on the third base grass on the infield.
Here's the pitch, fouled away by Williams over toward the school down the third base line. Just like Spillane Field, there is a school right next door and is prime spot for foul balls to be hitting all over that place.
Yeah, that's just a nice brick building.
Yes.
That's not taking any damage from these baseballs.
Here's the 1-1 from the righty Matulovic. Fastball grounded to the second baseman. Duran tags the runner, throws to first. In time, a double play. A 4 unassisted 3 double play for Jaron Duran, doing a nice job tagging the runner Witherspoon in between first and second, then gets it over to MacGyver to get the second out of the inning. Big help for Joey Matulovic on the mound from his defense.
Duran's laughing about that one right now. I mean, he had to make a pretty athletic play. Witherspoon knew what he was doing over there, running. He tried to get out of the way of the tag.
Scott Schreiber swinging at the first pitch. The 3-hitter pops it up to shallow right. Backing up is Duran. He makes the play to retire the side. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no men left for the Bourne Braves. Quick first inning. Let's go to the second here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Listen to the game wherever you go with the Next Radio app. Catch this station's local broadcast or stream all the action right on your phone. Visit the Google Play Store and download the free Next Radio app today. Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Welcome back.
The left fielder, number 14,
It's the
from Connecticut, John Topa.
top half of the second inning, and John Topa is the batter. The Yukon Husky staring at his catcher right behind home plate, fellow teammate at Yukon, Zach Susi.
We've seen John Topa beat a couple of his Yukon teammates before from these Bourne Braves.
Absolutely.
PJ Poulin, Ronnie Rosamondo.
Absolutely. And he fouls this one straight back into the netting on the first pitch. 0-1. The ball just sits on that shelf before hopping back down behind home plate. Topa hit one of the Gatemen's leaders in batting average, coming in third on the team with a .342. Breaking ball lays in there for a strike by Hess. 0-2. Good stuff from this LSU reliever turned starter on the Cape, making his debut tonight. Hess had a tough time against Florida in the College World Series Championship. Here's the breaking ball, and it's fouled away by John Topa.
Hess's slider reminds me a lot of Griffin Roberts's, where, it has so much action on it, and the difference is that Hess's speed on his slider it's a good 15 miles an hour less than his high heat fastball. So it's definitely easier to detect, but it moves a lot more.
Here's the pitch, fouled straight back again behind home plate. Count remains 0-2. Hess firing in strike after strike to John Topa. Hess did have a tough time in that World Series, but he was also facing a red hot and also a very stacked Florida Gators lineup that went to win it all. Hess came in a 2-1 game, gave up 4 runs late in that game. Final was 6-1. But, nothing you can do about that. I mean, they were just a red-hot lineup. Here's the 0-2, coming from the righty to John Topa, the righty. Fastball outside. Snagged out of the air by Susi, throws it back, 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, you could say LSU might have been hotter going into the College World Series due to winning that SEC championships. I mean, it was an incredible tournament.
And also being able to knock off Oregon State. 1-2, swinging him. Foul ball, just getting a piece of that was John Topa behind home plate. Tips it. Susi unable to snag it out of the air.
Yeah, Susi could have, if he could have squeezed that, it would have been strike 3. Topa with a really great eye. He's not somebody you want to pitch around. You just want to go straight at him.
It's a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch from Hess. Breaking ball, inside corner, called strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Zach Hess. John Topa, fooled by that slider, catches the inside corner.
Well, that's exactly what Griffin Roberts does to people. He, for a righty on a righty matchup, he starts it at about their gut, and then all of a sudden that ball's breaking over the inside part of the plate, and it's almost impossible to pull the trigger if you're a hitter on that pitch.
Tristan Pompey was 1 for 1 with an extra base hit this season against Zach Hess. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Kentucky and LSU played 4 times this season, a 3-game series in Lexington. And Kentucky actually won 2 of those 3 games against the Tigers. But then when it mattered in the SEC tournament, LSU came out on top with a 10-1 victory. 0-2 on the outside corner to Pompey. 1 out, top half of the second inning, no score. Hess kicks and fires. High fastball, slugged away, foul down the left field line by Pompey.
Second straight batter. Hess has had this 0-2 count and then gets some foul balls out of the hitter. I mean, Pompey and then the previous batter, Topa, both doing a good job of fouling off, protecting the plate on 0-2.
Hess stares down his fellow SEC rival and delivers outside. Pompey staying alive in the at-bat. Hess doing a really nice job getting ahead in these counts, though. That's probably just natural for him, as, such a good pitcher. 1-2. Called strike 3, slider. Once again, that time the opposite with a lefty batter. Comes in off the outside corner and fools Pompey the same way as it fooled the righty batter.
Well, yeah, instead of going front door, now you go back door to the lefty. I mean, with a pitch like that, it's really an advantage no matter what the handedness of the batter is. I mean, Duran's going to have the same problem right now that the other lefties have had. That slider, if it starts way outside, maybe in the right-handed hitter's batter's box, that's usually not a pitch you plan on swinging at.
0-0 pitch. Duran, first pitch swinging, grounds it through the right side for a base hit. Jaron Duran with a 2-out single to get the Gatemen on the board in the second inning.
Here in the second inning, the Gatemen have just as many hits as they did through 6 innings against the Brewster Whitecaps last night, and they have doubled their hit total through the first 9 innings against the YT Red Sox on Sunday. So this is a more positive start. I think the guys are getting the bat on the ball a little better. I think they know what they need to do. It's just about executing, driving in those runners home. Blake Sable, he's catching today for the first time in a while, and he had a good offensive day when he caught his last time. Now let's see if he can do the same thing against Bourne.
So Pompey and Topa both go down looking. Duran on first with a single. Swing and a miss by Sable. 0-1. And if Duran's going to steal, he has phenomenal speed, but if he's going to steal, he's probably try to pick out a pitch where he thinks Hess is going to go slider, because that fastball comes in so fast.
Not to mention the catcher, Susie, has a pop time from the glove down to second base of 1.9 seconds. So it's going to be really hard to steal today.
0-1 to Blake Sable, the USC Trojan. Here's the pitch. Inside, 1-1. Fastball came in kind of on the line of the inside part of the batter's box. 1-1 on Sable. Having a tough time at the plate so far this season, but does have 1 home run on the year back in Hyannis earlier this season. His hitting 190 coming into today.
He's been great defensively at first base for the most part. That's where we've seen him. Tonight he flip-flops with Willie McIver, who will play first base.
Catching for a fellow rival, California Golden Bear on the mound, and a USC Trojan behind the plate today for the Gatemen. Second pitch is lined out to right field, right into the glove of Grant Witherspoon, in the side retired in the top half of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. To the bottom half we go. Matulovic coming out to the mound for the Gatemen in a 0-0 game.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Welcome back. It's the bottom half of the second inning. The Gatemen and the Bourne Braves here at Dorn Park, just over the Bourne Bridge, right along the Cape Cod Canal. No score between Wareham and Bourne. Bourne wearing their white jerseys, a little red stripe running down the side, similar to the Gatemen with a blue stripe on their pants, in the gray pants, and the navy blue jersey with a big red W on the left chest. In there for a strike from Matulovic. The batter for Bourne is the 4-hitter, Zach Susie, the University of Connecticut product, one of 3 Huskies on this Braves roster. The other 2 are pitchers. Here's the pitch from the righty Matulovic, breaking ball in there for a strike on the outside corner. 0-2 quickly on the Bourne catcher. Susie having a solid season, a really good defensive catcher. That's his specialty. Here he is at the plate. Breaking ball runs inside from Matulovic. And it's a 1-2. Susie, 2 home runs, 40 RBIs this season for UConn, a team that just barely not elected to make the NCAA tournament. Lines it foul, opposite field down the third base line. Counts remains at 1-2. Had a .286 batting average as well this season, did Susie. And his brother Brett Susie also plays college baseball in Connecticut. He plays for the Central Connecticut State Blue Devils, who won the NEC tournament this year and headed on to the College World Series, lost in the Fort Worth Regional to TCU. Lined into left field for a base hit. 1-2 count, and Zach Susi's aboard. This one's going to go to the wall. Zusi turns for first and gets to second with a stand-up double, as that one split the outfielders. Quite different than Spillane Field here at Durham Park. That ball does not get to the wall at Spillane.
Well, I mean, the wall actually helps you in that instance. I think both the left fielder Topa and the center fielder, Juan, they really just misjudged the speed of that ball. Once it hit the grass, it just took off, went all the way to the wall.
That's what I'm saying. Because that Spillane Field, the grass is so thick,
that's
it
true.
just stops balls from going all the way to the wall and rolling there. That might have been a double, but was likely a single at Spillane. But now Zach Susi in scoring position, nobody out. In the bottom half of the second, the batter is Spencer Brickhouse. He takes a strike, a called strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, 4-5-6 is a really dangerous part of this Bourne order. Jamison Hanna, Hillbat, 7th tonight. He's usually the leadoff guy for Bourne.
Outside fastball, misses 1-1, up high and away. Blake Sable gets up out of his crouch to snag that one.
You know, you made an interesting point before about Blake Sable. He's doing the catching for a Pac-12 rival. You know, that's definitely something in the spring that he can go back and tell his Trojans, hey, you know, this is how this guy's going to come at you.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball hangs up high and misses outside, 2-1. Brickhouse, an East Carolina Pirate. Also a North Carolina native as well. 57 games this year, basically all of them for ECU. 10 home runs, 28 runs batted in, a .310 average in the American Athletic Conference. 2-1 to the lefty. Fouls it away over the Bourne dugout, out of play on top of the school. That's Upper Cape Tech right next door. Bottom half of the second inning, the Gatemen have gone through 8 batters in their first 2 innings, 2 hits, but have not been able to mount anything of significance against Zach Hess. And here is Joey Matulovic. He's given up 2 hits. The runner's on second. Swing and a miss. Down swinging Spencer Brickhouse, the first strikeout of the day for Joey Matulovic, presented to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
Good job by Sable, the catcher right there, squeezing onto that foul tip for strike 3. You want to get through these batters as soon as you can, especially with that runner in scoring position and no outs. The Gatemen had a similar opportunity in the first inning. They weren't able to come through. Matulovic hoping he can do the same.
Andrew Frige takes a pitch inside, 1-0 on him. Frige batting in the 6th hole today at third base. Coming into today, the Sam Houston State product, 194 average, 12 for 62 on the season thus far. 2 home runs for Frige, 8 runs batted in. Has only walked 4 times compared to 22 strikeouts. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss on a changeup, 1-1. Matulovic trying to work out of a jam that he put himself into, giving up a leadoff double to UConn's Zach Susi, who waits on second base right now. Doesn't seem to be too worried about him in terms of pickoff move or stealing a base. He is a catcher, but seems like a lot of these guys here on the Cape have speed. Here's that pitch outside, 2-1. Matulovic trying to settle in against Frige. He's been in the lineup almost, I believe, every time the Gatemen have played this Bourne Braves team. This is game number 4 between these two West Division rivals. The Gatemen are 2-1 against Bourne this season. Number 2 at the plate, a 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2 to Frige as he whips through that fastball. Frige does strike out a lot. I read the stat there, but he also had 60 strikeouts for Sam Houston State this season. Matulovic stares down his catcher Sable, gets a sign, and loads himself into the stretch. A 2-2 pitch, 1 out in the second inning. Here it comes, a breaking ball fouled away over the net behind home plate. The Children chase it down, and the count remains at 2-2. Frige, a Liberty, Texas native, spent his last summer in the Northwoods League, where you play a lot more games than you do here in the Cape League. I believe it's a 75-game season up there. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Slider got him. 2 out in the second on 2 consecutive swinging strikeouts from Joey Matulovic. That one brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Jamison Hanna will try next.
Matulovic just showing off right now his ability to get batters to swing and miss out of the strike zone. He's really impressive, especially when he gets himself into a little bit of trouble. He knows how to work out of it, very headstrong.
Jamison Hanna's kind of been one of the best players for Bourne against Wareham this season. Pitch 0-1 on the outside corner from Matulovic. Hanna has speed. Good opposite field hitter. And here he is, facing Matulovic. An 0-1 pitch, lined into the left field, opposite field, and tripping in left is John Topa. He chases it down behind him. It rolls to the wall. Scoring easily from second base is Zach Susi, and into third with a stand-up triple is Jamison Hanna. Topa looked like he slipped and fell. Maybe the outfield's still wet out there.
Well, it's got to be. I mean, we haven't seen John Topa do anything even remotely close to that throughout the season. One of the Gatemen's most reliable players, both on offense and defense. That's a really tough break for Topa right there. Just initially misjudged that ball. He thought he had to come in for it. Then it just sort of soared over his head. By the time he realized it was going back, he had stumbled over his feet, wet grass.
As expected, it is scored a hit. Matulovic deals outside, 0-1. The batter is Tyler Fitzgerald, now with a runner on third and 2 out, as Jamison Hanna scored a triple on that play. Here's the 0-1. Inside corner fastball, 0-2. Matulovic ahead in the count on Tyler Fitzgerald, the Louisville Cardinal.
You know, the old saying, Sam, is that the toughest balls to play are the ones hit right at you for an outfielder, and I think that's what happened.
Here's the pitch. Fastball, outside corner, called strike 3. So Matulovic strikes out the side, but he gives up a run on 2 hits. No errors, and 1 man left. To the bottom half of to the top half of the third, it's 1-0 Bourne here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B. R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Welcome back. Top half of the third inning. The Gatemen trailing the Bourne Braves 1-0 after a tough play for John Topa out in left field, and at the end of that inning gives up a triple on a ball that it looked like he was under for a little bit, misjudged it a little bit, then as he was going back slipped and fell, allowing the hitter Jamison Hanna to get to third.
I mean, you know, it's 1 run, but the fact is, for the Gatemen, if they want to win this ball game, they need to score more than a run anyway. So It's time for the offense to do its job.
Robbie Metz is going to try to start it off. Takes a breaking ball, that slider from Hess. In there for a strike. 0-1.
Yeah, for John Topa and Tristan Pompey back in the second inning, coming back to face Hess.
Here's the 0-1, fouled away on a fastball by Metz.
They were really frustrated. They were just so confused and so in awe about what Zach Hess is doing out there. I mean, he's been really impressive. The Gatemen hitters know that. There are so many scouts in attendance tonight looking at his pitching.
Grounded to the third baseman by Metz. It's Frige fielding it, firing it to first base. Spencer Brickhouse catches it, one away on one batter in the third inning. Robbie Metz retired. 7 of the 9 Gatemen go down on Zach Hess the first time through the order.
Yeah, we've seen Hess top about 95 miles an hour tonight. We were expecting maybe somewhere around 96, 97, but I mean, even 95 still. So impressive. Plus that slider comes out of nowhere on you. For a lefty like Stephen Kwan right now, it's going to come right in at your hands.
Stephen Kwan takes a ball outside. I mentioned these two teams, Oregon State and LSU, played a phenomenal semifinals in the College World Series this year, and the underdog in LSU came away victorious, creating an all-SEC College World Series, and it was a fun one. Florida LSU, big football rivalry translating to the baseball field, was fun to watch. Grounded foul by Kwan, it's 1-1.
You know, adding a season-ending tournament for their champion is something the Pac-12 might want to look into.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Kwan, breaking ball inside, 2-1. Kwan singled, an infield single to the third baseman back in the first. Frige threw it too low, and because of that, Kwan was able to advance to second on an E5. Did not come around to score, though. It's 1-0 Bourne. Pitch in there for a strike. 2 was that slider again. Kwan, the left-handed batter, facing Hess. Calls for time, and we'll wait to do it again.
He called for time earlier at bat, and it wasn't granted to him, so he took a ball, I believe, on a 2 count.
82 strikeouts this season for Zach Hess. 2-2, way up high and outside. Goes Susi, but nobody on base. 3-2. Just blew it by Susi, the catcher. He didn't even have enough time to get his glove up that high, honestly, is what happened. 3-2, Kwan. Punched out to the shortstop, Fitzgerald. He field backhand over to first. Kwan beats it out. An infield single, his second single of the day for Stephen Kwan's specialty.
Well, the first to a high chopper to the third baseman, Frige. This one to the shortstop, Fitzgerald, in the deep gap between the 5 and the 6 hole on the left side. Just on the outfield grass, it was going to be a really tough play for Fitzgerald. Throw could have been a bit stronger, but Stephen Kwan, he's on now again for the Gatemen. Not in scoring position this time, but he represents the tying run.
Another lefty at the plate for the Gatemen. It's Tanner Dodson, who shattered his bat his first time up, lined out softly to the second baseman, Williams, and takes a pitch high, 1-0.
How about Tanner Dodson last night against the Brewster Whitecaps? You're the winning pitcher and you score the winning run. I mean, that's Little League sort of stuff in terms of being able to hit and pitch, and he did it both last night for the Gatemen. Very valuable.
It's been the story all season with Tanner Dodson, his ability to hit, combined with his fastball at 95 mile an hour. Runner goes, pitches a strike, and gunned at second base is Stephen Kwan. That fastball comes in so fast. Susi so good behind the plate. Perfect throw to the second baseman, Williams. And Kwan, questionable base stealing call.
I think he sort of hesitated halfway through. That's the reason Susi by a mile. That probably was a hit and run. I think Tanner Dodson just missed.
He missed the fastball for sure. 1-1, pitches low, 2-1. That one bounced on the plate and came up.
Well, I mean, how frustrating is that? If Kwan hadn't gone on that pitch and waited a pitch later, he'd be on second on a wild pitch anyway.
Hess, it's a 2-1 count. He kicks, the righty delivers outside, 3-1. And this is really the first time that a Gatemen hitter has really worked ahead of the count this much on Zach Hess. 3-1 on Dodson. He might have a pitch to hit here. But then again, that fastball is the pitch to hit, and it comes in in a blink of an eye. There it is outside. A walk on 5 pitches for Tanner Dodson, and that caught stealing by Quan comes up big for the Bourne Braves.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only strike that Hess threw in that at-bat was the one Tanner Dodson missed on the attempted hit and run. Stephen Quan left out to dry, so now you have 2 outs. The runner's still on first base. Kyle Kasser's a guy you want up in this situation. Opposite field sort of hitter, like many of these Gatemen.
Kasser, the Oregon Duck, 2 outs in the third. Outside corner fastball called for a strike on Kasser, hitting .283 coming into today. Went 0-4 yesterday, and that dropped his average below 300 in that game against Brewster. Not a lot of the Gatemen hitters really got it going against the Whitecaps, but they were able to come out with the win thanks to some situational hitting from Tanner Dodson and from Stephen Quan, a sac fly that drove in the game-winning run. But Kasser was 0-4. Takes a strike there, inside part of the plate. 0-2 from Hess. He's 1 strike away from getting out of this half inning. Kasser with 6 RBIs this year. Really good defensive player. Consistent hitter so far for the Gatemen. 0-2. Hess in the stretch, kicks slider, swung on, grounded to short. Making the easy play to second is Fitzgerald to Williams to get Tanner Dodson on the force out. The side retired. It's time to go to our host, Jacob Toby, who has a Cape League update. Jacob.
Thank you very much, Sam. We going around the Cape right now. Bottom of the 7th, Harwich Mariners and the YD Red Sox. Mariners have a 5-0 lead on the Sox. Antoine Duplantis, a home run in the top of the 3rd, his 2nd of the season. Move it over to Orleans at Eldridge Park, a 2-1 lead for the Falmouth Commodores over the Orleans Firebirds. Stephen Scott, though, had the lone RBI for Orleans. Katuitt and Hyannis tied up at 1 in the bottom of the 4th. In Hyannis, Zach Cohn had a home run, his 2nd of the season. And then Brewster up 5-0 on the Chatham Anglers in the top of the 2nd. Michael Curry an RBI single in that one. Nick Dunn a sac fly. That is it around the Cape right now. Also, just saying, Point Streak says that Falmouth and Orleans will play a 2nd game tonight. That is not true. So if you're looking at Point Streak, they only have 1 game tonight. The rain getting a little crazy, making everyone a little crazy tonight. Guys, back to you.
Certainly been a crazy night, but the rain has stayed away from Doran Park for now. And, you know, we're only if the rain comes, we're only 2.5 innings away from making this a full game. Gatemen got to strike early in case that does happen.
Well, wouldn't that be a disappointing way to lose? I mean, hopefully for the Gatemen they can get some runs on the board, or maybe the rain stays away. You just need to give yourself a chance to win this ball game. Right now, Matulovic is getting that done for you.
Matulovic delivers a fastball on the outside corner for a first pitch strike to Andy Atwood, the Oregon State Beaver, a fellow outfielder at Oregon State with Stephen Quan, playing center field for Bourne today. Here's the 0-1. Called strike on the outside corner. That one tails back in from the outside part of the plate. It looked like a little bit of 2-seam action from Matulovic.
Yeah, backdoor 2-seam fastball works to his advantage.
Here's the 0-2. It's same pitch just outside from Matulovic on Andy Atwood. And you heard in that Cape League update from Jacob Toby, the Harwich Mariners getting out to a 5-0 lead. Antoine Duplantis, another LSU Tiger, swing and a miss on a slider by Andy Atwood. He's down swinging, the 4th consecutive strikeout for Joey Matulovic, brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Forest, and Bullard. But Duplantis hit that 2-run home run for Harwich, and Zach Hess making his mark here for Bourne. So LSU, the late entry to the Cape League because of their late run into the World Series, but they're certainly doing some good things out here on the Cape. Pitch from Matulovic to Witherspoon outside for a ball. Witherspoon led off the game with a single, but was then put out in a 4-3 double play from Grant Williams. grounds this one through the right side in between Duran and McIver for a base hit. So the second hit of the game for Grant Witherspoon.
Well, on the last time Grant Williams came up, just like you said, Sam, they got him to ground into a double play thanks to Jaron Duran. 2 Grants retired on that play. Matulovic trying to get Witherspoon and Williams retired right now.
You can't take the top of this order for granted.
Oh my goodness. Can we go home?
Runner on first is Grant Witherspoon. Grant Williams is at the plate. Very similar names, 2 different schools. Williams out of Kennesaw State, bunts it down the third base line. Metz picks it up, fires to first. It gets by the first baseman McIver. Into right field it goes, picking it up is Pompey. Stopping and heading home from third as Pompey bobbles it. Coming into third is the runner Williams, who hit the ball. Witherspoon scores. A wild play from the Gatemen defense all around. Starting with Robbie Metz, gets over the glove of McIver at first base. Pompey picks it up, bobbles it, and that allows the runner at third, Witherspoon, to get home and score. It's 2-0.
Well, I mean, lost in all of that was the fact that it was a perfect bunt by Williams, and I think Robbie Metz just should have held on to that ball. If he does, it's first and second. This game's still 1-0 instead of now 2-0 Bourne and a runner on third and nobody, 1 out.
Well, that was wild. And now trying to follow that up is Scott Schreiber, who popped out to Jaron Duran to end the first inning.
Scott Schreiber just took the biggest cut of the night on that fastball on the inside corner. He was either going to miss or he was going to hit it out of Doran Park. He missed.
Schreiber waits, swings and misses through a 0-1 slider. Now it's 0-2 quickly. This will be a big out for Matulovic. It's going to be pretty tough for Matulovic because he's had a pretty good game so far. It's the defense behind him that's really struggling for the Gatemen. 1 error on the board, but it could be more. Upstairs, 1-2 on a fastball.
Yeah, I'd characterize it as 1 error, but 2 critical mistakes. And, Matulovic has pitched well to this point, despite the 2 runs.
The Nebraska Cornhusker, the righty batter, grounds it to the second baseman, Duran, walks it over to McIver right after checking over the runner at third, which was Grant Williams. Scott Schreiber grounds out. The runner remains where he is, 90 feet away from home plate. And there's 2 out in the third. Zach Susi coming to the plate, has an extra base hit already today. But a good play by Jaron Duran, making sure he checked over Grant Williams at third base. Matulovic facing the lefty Zach Susi. Fastball low corner for a strike, 0-1. Susi saw his defensive abilities get tested just a few batters ago where, Jaron Duran, Stephen Kwan was stealing second base and he gunned him out at second on a perfect throw. He fouls this one down the first base line. Susi chatting with his fellow catching counterpart, Blake Sable, behind home plate. And Matulovic steps off to take his time. It's no 2 count. 2 out, bottom half of the third inning. The Bourne Braves scored once in the second, have scored once here in the third to make it a 2-0 game. Word is that Zach Hess has been gone 3 innings, giving up 3 hits. Word is that his day is over. But we'll see. 0-2, slider swung on and missed. Strikeout number 5 for Joey Matulovic to retire the side. But the Bourne Braves get a run on 1 hit, 1 error. Or 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. We will go to the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Bourne.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Welcome back. It is the top half of the fourth inning. The undisclosed source that we have was incorrect. Zach Hess is back out on the mound for the Bourne Braves out of LSU, and he's going to face Willie McIver for the second time today. McIver struck out swinging off Hess in the first. Here's the pitch. Pitch is low, 1-0 from Hess in the dirt. McIver is one of just 3 righties in this Gatemen lineup hitting from the right side against Hess. I mean, Tristan Pompey's a switch hitter, but he'll be hitting from the left side against him. Lines it right to the shortstop, Fitzgerald, for the first out. So they're getting some decent contact. It's just that so hard to hit.
Well, it almost sounded like that bat broke a little bit. I don't know, but either way, it was just off the end of the bat. If that had been more towards the barrel, that might have been a double into left center field. Instead, it just sort of bloops to the shortstop. So, yeah, it's some tough breaks right now in this game for the Gatemen. This game could be 0-0. Instead, it's 2-0.
1 out for John Topa. He swings at the first pitch, grounds it to the second baseman. Williams on the run, fields and throws it to Brickhouse for the second out. So, is that 2 pitches, 2 outs?
Yeah, I think the idea is try to, you know, on 0-0, usually the protocol is throwing a fastball. I think the idea is try to get out ahead early, try to swing at the first pitch, put it in play, rather than wait for him to throw that slider.
The first lefty of the inning is Tristan Pompey. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
And clearly, righties or lefties, it really hasn't made a difference right now to Hess, who is just dealing accurately and with a lot of oomph.
Grounded to the first baseman off his glove, and no one is there to back him up as he booted it down towards the second baseman, who was already backing him up. And he was already moved over toward first base, so unable to get there was Williams after Brickhouse bobbles it. The second error for the Bourne Braves puts Pompey on first with 2 outs.
All right, so the Gatemen, they have a base runner in this inning. They have in most of the innings against Hess right now. I think that, yeah, that's a base runner in every inning against Hess. They just still haven't found a way to bring anybody around, and that's got to be super frustrating.
Jaron Duran, a runner has only gotten to scoring position once for the Gatemen so far. It was Stephen Kwan, the leadoff guy in the first inning, getting the second on error. Breaking ball outside to Duran, 1-0. Duran singled in the second, the Long Beach State dirtbag at the plate. Another lefty in this Gatemen lineup. 1 of 6 against Zach Hess. Of course, Tristan Pompey, a switch hitter, will be switching around to the right side if we see a lefty pitcher. Pickoff attempt to first, nothing doing for Pompey. Also, Tanner Dodson, if you see a lefty pitcher come in, he'll switch around to the right side of the plate. Here's the 1-0 coming in. Hess in the stretch, decides to go over to first for another pickoff attempt. but Pompey back safely. LSU won the SEC title this year with a victory over the Arkansas Razorbacks. Another big football rivalry coming into play on the baseball diamond. LSU-Arkansas. Here's the 1-0. Fouled away. 1-1. And Jaron Duran trying to work something with one on and 2 outs in the 4th inning. But the Gatemen just haven't been able to dig into Zach Hess. We saw the Florida Gators figure him out late in the season, but right now he looks to have his best stuff. Here's the 1-1 in the dirt, and it gets out in front of the catcher. Zach Susie does a nice job stopping it, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, blocking it right in front of his chest really freezes Pompey. It forces him back to first. Good thing he didn't go. I mean, sometimes guys just see balls in the dirt and they take off. That was smart base running, especially when you know you have a defensive specialist like Susie behind the dish.
2-1 from Zach Hess. Jaron Duran, another pickoff attempt to try to test Tristan Pompey, and he's safe, sliding back. Brickhouse chucks it back to the pitcher, and he'll do it again. 2-1 is the count on Duran. Coming into today with a .232 batting average, but is 1 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. Outside fastball. 3-1. Second time Zach Hess has fallen behind in a count. The first time was Tanner Dodson in the 3rd inning, and he worked a walk. Right now with a runner on first, the Gatemen will take anything they can to get a guy into scoring position. Down by 2 runs. Duran's not the kind of guy that will tie the game right now. He's not a power hitter. From the left side. Grounds it foul. Chopped down the first baseline. Fielded nicely by first base coach Sean Callahan.
With his long goatee and all, Sean Callahan has great hands.
He's a former college baseball player.
As most of the coaches are here.
Full count, payoff pitch coming to Jaron Duran in the 4th inning, 2 outs. Goes around. Does he go around? No, he doesn't. He's on to first base with a walk. And a very confusing play because it looked like he might have actually gone around. They didn't even go to the home plate umpire. Steven Drescher didn't even decide to appeal to the guy at second base, which is Nick DeMarchi. But Zach Susie wanted him to, and then he went over to him pretty late, and he called him safe. So runners on first and second with 2 out. The Bourne head coach Harvey Shapiro out to talk to Zach Hess on the mound with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Blake Sable is the next batter. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out, but Blake Sable probably did make the best contact of any Gateman hitter so far.
Yeah, this looks like it is going to be a pitching change from Shapiro.
We'll send it to break here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We'll find out who the new pitcher is for Bourne right after this.
On your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians, expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We are proud supporters of the CCBBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Welcome back. PJ Poulin replaces Zach Hess on the mound for the Bourne Braves. Hess has a good outing. He goes 3 2/3, gives up 2 hits, walks 2 batters, strikes out 3 Gatemen, but a good first outing for him.
Yeah, and he got some run support from his Braves offense tonight. That's going to help him.
PJ Poulin, the Yukon Husky, pitching to his Yukon teammate, Zach Susi, the catcher. And the other catcher, Blake Sable, on the first pitch. Slow line drive pop-up to the shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald, to end the inning. The Gatemen get no runs on no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. To the bottom half of the inning we go. It's 2-0 Bourne here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists, who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Joey Matulovic back out on the mound for the Gatemen. It's a 2-0 Braves lead right now. Bottom half of the 4th coming up your way here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Sam Corman, joined by Connor Federico today. Claudia Chikamian coming up. Jacob Toby, our host today, giving some Cape League updates.
Doing some dabbing as well.
Also some All-Star Game research. 0-1 on the leadoff hitter, Spencer Brickhouse is the batter. Brickhouse struck out swinging in the 2nd. Now he's trying to do something off of Matulovic, who's had a really good outing so far. It's just been his defense that hasn't been backing him up. Fouls it away as the sky continues to get darker and darker to our west here at Doran Park. And there is a large storm expected to come in here at any moment. Not at any moment, but in about a half hour. Fouled away. And as it stands, I don't think this game is, just a prediction. I don't think this game is going 9 innings. but you never know.
Well, if it goes 5, right now we're in the bottom of the 4th. If 5 are completed, it's that's a full game.
Spencer Brickhouse flies it to center field. Stepping back is Stephen Kwan, comes back in and makes the catch for the first out of the 4th inning.
It was a pretty deep pop-up for Brickhouse right there. Matulovic dealt him a ball low, and usually that's, one that you ground out, but Brickhouse sort of just golfed that one high up in the air.
Yeah,
Matulovic has really been working well so far. I've been impressed with his stuff. 2 runs on the scoreboard for Bourne, only 1 earned. Both might not have happened on a regular day.
Frige takes a fastball outside corner for a strike. He struck out swinging as well in the 2nd inning. I feel like I've been saying that a lot for these Bourne hitters. But yet they lead 2-0. The former Thunder Bay Border Cat pops it into shallow center. On the run is Kwan, makes the catch, moving to his right and coming in the 2nd out. He called off John Topa to communicate and made that play. 2 out.
Frige just hit that one off the end of his bat. Weak fly ball into center. He had to go back for the first fly ball. He comes in for this one. 2 away quickly for Matulovic, who he's been efficient, only giving up 5 hits.
2 outs. Batter is Jamison Hanna. Takes a strike on a shows bunt, then pulls it back, but the pitch was on the inside corner. It was a fastball. Hanna, the left fielder, tripled his first time up, but with the help of John Topa in left field. That 2-seamer comes back in inside corner. Another strike, 0-2 on Hanna. The Dallas Baptist player. Dallas Baptist, also a NCAA tournament appearance this year. Good team down there. That pitch swung on and missed. Sable down to first to retire the side. Another strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Number 6 for Joey Matulovic, and that was a very quick inning. To the 5th we go. It's 2-0 Bourne here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm Claudia Chakamian. So I just want to talk a little bit about what the Gatemen faced in Zach Hess. We knew this was going to be a lot that the Gatemen were going to have to face, and they handled it pretty well. We saw a lot of good things from Zach. He had about a 94, 96 mile per hour fastball. We saw him hitting about the 88s in his changeups, and he had some good sliders going around from the 82 to 85 mile per hour zone. So the Gatemen had a lot of tough pitches to face. You saw hitters like John Topa and Tristan Pompey, but especially Pompey, who is in the SEC with Hess, come back into the dugout being like, that was a tough pitch. I heard both of them when they came back, like, there's nothing I can do about that, and that was tough. So you know that they were facing a tough guy in Hess when he came to the mound. But the Gatemen gave it all they could. They had 3 hits, and they walked twice against him. So the game is scoreless, but they gave a valiant effort against a very tough hitter. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Claudia. That was awesome. Good report on his pitch speeds. I mean, crazy stuff from Hess. Really quite awesome to watch him come up here right after the World Series, and he'll be a prospect for the 2018 MLB draft for sure. Early rounder. Outside pitch, and all the scouts right here to our left a lot of them admitted when they came in. They were like, oh yeah, we're here to watch Hess. And everyone else is just kind of the sidebar for them. But Hess making his collegiate league debut. Fouled away by Robbie Metz, out of play.
One fan here at Doran Park, who's here for almost every Braves game, said this is the most scouts he's seen here since the All-Star game was at Doran Park in 2014.
Wow. I mean, when you bring in a guy like Zach Hess, as highly sought after as he was drafted by the Yankees before college, and this one's grounded to short. Fielded on 2 hops by Fitzgerald over to Brickhouse for the first out. Another ground out. for Robbie Metz, both to the left side for him. He's 0 for 2.
Well, you have to say this about Robbie Metz's season. I mean, he has never been out at first base by more than a step or two. I mean, he is always hustling down there, always a model of, effort and consistency for this Gatemen team. The returner, he knows what it takes to be successful in the Cape League. Hitting in the 9-hole again tonight, having some struggles, but he'll get it together for sure.
Metz is now 17 for 65 after that ground out. The pitch from the lefty. Poulin is inside to Stephen Kwan. Kwan has had a good day. He's 2 for 2. Granted, both those singles have not left the infield, but when you can get on base, doesn't matter how you can do it. That's the case for the Oregon State product. 1-0 from Poulin. Breaking ball just high. 2-0. Kwan working ahead in the count.
Well, the Gatemen only have 3 hits. 2 of them, like you said, are from Kwan. Now facing P.J. Poulin, the lefty out of UConn. I mean, he's a talented pitcher, but nowhere near the talent that Zach Hess has. So the Gatemen, this game will not last all 9 innings. We know that. They need to strike soon.
Outside corner to Kwan. 2-1. That pitch started off in the middle of the plate, worked its way outside. Looks like a little bit of a cutter type action from Poulin, the lefty. 2-1. Breaking ball up high. Kwan ducks out of the way to get away from that one. Hung it up and inside. 3-1.
Well, Poulin also has that slider, and the difference is coming out of his left arm. It's moving away from lefty instead of towards them like Hess's does.
Here's the 3-1. Fastball inside. Kwan works a walk. He's on base for the 3rd time today. All 3 at-bats. Came in today with a 400 batting average. He's now 14 for 32 on the season in terms of hitting, and another walk there. His on-base percentage was 444 coming into today. That's going to be, about 500 now. So really impressive stuff every day from Kwan, day in and day out.
Well, still a limited sample size, in the first 5 or 6 games we saw he was hitting above 550.
Definitely still limited, but he continues to get on base. That's 3 times in a row today. 1 out in the 5th inning. Pitch is low. 1-0. The batter is Tanner Dodson, batting from the right side for the first time today. Lined out to the second baseman and also worked a walk off of Zach Hess, now facing a UConn Husky and P.J. Poulin.
Yeah, now Dodson hitting from the right side, so will Pompey when that moment arises. The Gatemen, they need to get a string of hits together. Time is running out. It's only the 5th inning, but the rain's coming.
Lefty in the stretch, has his glove at the belt, now delivers. Inside corner. Strike to Tanner Dodson. 1-1.
Poulin struggling a little bit with command right now. He's really not hitting the spots that Zach Soucy's glove is leaving out for him. So these two know each other well. They know how the other likes to operate. You got to think they're going to figure it out eventually.
1-1 pitch. Leading off first is Stephen Kwan. Waits on it, grounds it through the left side for a base hit between the shortstop Fitzgerald and the third baseman Frige. Advancing to second, Stephen Kwan. In a quick, 1-out walk to Stephen Kwan, 1-out single to Tanner Dodson. All of a sudden, the lead runs at the plate.
Well, I mean, that's a perfect example about how missing targets can really come to bite you. And Poulin, his catcher, Soucy, was standing all the way on the outside low part of the plate. Instead, he throws it low and inside to Dodson, and he sneaks that one in for a base hit. So, this is a big spot for the Gatemen. Kyle Kasser needs to take advantage. It's a lefty-lefty matchup to his disadvantage, but he can still make waves right now.
1-out, 5th inning. P.J. Poulin coming in relief for Zach Hess. Came in the 4th, and now here he is in the 5th. Runners on 1st and 2nd. The batter is Kyle Kasser out of Oregon. Takes a ball low, 1-0. Poulin really struggling to get ahead in the counts, which we saw Zach Hess. That was basically automatic for him.
And Matulovic, too. We're not sure if we're going to see him for the bottom of the 5th, but he's been very good so far. I mean, Poulin so far the only pitcher who's really struggled today, but there's still a 0 spot on that board for the G-Men, as it reads here at the Dorn Park scoreboard.
Classic. That name has really picked up with Jacob Toby. Outside corner, 1-1. He really likes the G-Men. I kind of like it too,
I don't. I'm a Jets fan.
Okay, that makes sense. Not a fan of the G-Men. Formerly known as the Wareham Gatemen, they trail...
Formerly known. I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to be known as the Gatemen.
They trail 2-0 to the Bourne Braves right now. Top half of the fifth, the batter is Kyle Kasser. Runners on first and second. Dodson's on first. Second, it's Stephen Kwan. 1-1 pitch coming from the Yukon Husky, P.J. Poulin. He kicks and delivers. Outside, breaking ball, 2-1 to Kyle Kasser. Continues to get behind in the counts.
Kwan and Dodson right now, huge secondary leads. The shortstop, Fitzgerald, holding on Kwan over there at second. But, you know, Kasser and the rest of this Gatemen lineup really known for their opposite field work. There's a huge gap between the third baseman and the shortstop right now. Kasser could take advantage of that.
A lot of RBIs of Kasser have come on opposite field hits. This one's chopped to the left side, played by the shortstop. Fitzgerald goes to second, not in time. Beating it out, Tanner Dodson gets to second. On first is Kyle Kasser. The bases are jammed.
Well, that's what we just talked about. You know, the shortstop, Fitzgerald, he was over there holding Kwan on. If he was at his normal positioning, he would have been able to field that cleanly. It would have been right to him, and he could have tossed it on to second. Instead, Dodson has a big secondary lead, takes off as soon as he sees that ball hits the ground, and he just beats the flip in from the shortstop, who Fitzgerald, he was ranging to his right, had to make a snap throw to his left to the second baseman, Williams. Bases loaded. Tying run is on second in Tanner Dodson.
The Gatemen have yet to really hit a true base hit in this game. I mean, a few have gone like through holes in the infield, but it's been a pretty crazy way to get the bases loaded here in the fifth inning. William McIver, the cleanup guy, trying to clean up right now. Outside corner on that one. 0-1 on him.
Well, that's why they call it the cleanup hitter. You got 1, 2, and 3 on in your lineup right now. This is just simple lineup making baseball strategy.
Washington Husky at the plate in the right side batter's box. 0-1, 1 out, fifth inning, bases loaded on P.J. Poulin. He's struggled a lot here in the fifth. Breaking ball chopped out, other opposite field into deep right. Playing it is Grant Witherspoon. Tagging on the play from third and scoring is Stephen Kwan. It's 2-1 Bourne on a sac fly from William McIver. Advancing to third, Tanner Dodson. Staying at first is Kyle Kasser.
Do your job, Willie McIver. He did. He just hit a big fly ball out to right field, and it was certainly deep enough for the speedy Kwan to come home. In fact, there was really no contest. Tanner Dodson, he advances to third. This might be a situation where we see Kyle Kasser break for second or try to create a pickle in order to, you know, generate Tanner Dodson heading to the plate. There's a variety of ways that the Gatemen could get this second runner in, but with 2 outs, it's a bit more difficult.
It's a gloomy sky above, and it continues to get gloomier. 2 outs, fifth inning. John Topa is the batter. Swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, 0-1. Yukon at the behind home plate, Yukon on the mound, Yukon in the batter's box. This is awesome.
Well, John Topa had P.J. Poulin's number the last time that the Gatemen played Bourne and won big on the 5th of July at Spillane.
Poulin the pitcher, Topa the right-handed batter, Susie the catcher. All Yukon Huskies. Here's the 0-1 inside, 1-1. Topa, a Rhode Island native. Susie is a Southington, Connecticut native. That's just west of Hartford. And the pitcher, which is P.J. Poulin, is a Marion, Massachusetts native. So all over New England.
Tabor Academy grad, I believe.
Here's the 1-1 coming in from the lefty to the righty batter in the dirt. And just holding up on a check swing is John Topa. They don't appeal, and nor does the catcher Susie, so it looks like they're all in agreement that Topa held up. It's 2-1. 2 outs, fifth inning. The Gatemen have the tying run on third base. The lead run is Kyle Kasser at first. John Topa trying to get a clutch hit right now off of his teammate at UConn, P.J. Poulin. Takes a strike inside. Looked a little bit low from here, but home plate umpire Drescher giving the benefit of the doubt to the pitcher there.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Bourne Braves, they have 2 runs. The Gatemen, their second run is on third base right now in Tanner Dodson. Can Topa hit him home?
2-2, 2 outs. 2-1 Bourne lead in the top half of the 5th. PJ Poulin delivers. Runner goes from first. He swings and misses. Topa down swinging. They go to first to catch him. And the side's retired. But the Gatemen get 1 run back on 2 hits. No errors. They leave 2 men on base. We're halfway through this game to the bottom half of the 5th. It's 2-1 Bourne on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We are proud supporters of the CCBBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community. The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Mr. Brian Clue and SmartGo Services LLC located in Taunton, Massachusetts for being the official sponsors of the Gatemen Player Development Program. The Player Development Program aims to improve both the players' and interns' skills and prepares them for a career in professional baseball. Again, a sincere thank you to Mr. Brian Clue and SmartGo Services. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Coming very soon. Welcome back. Well, the Doppler radar is not on the side of this game right now. It is coming.
Dun, dun, dun.
That is basically a perfect description of what it is. First pitch is a ball low from Matulovic, who's still on the mound.
Well, I mean, if Matulovic wants to give the Gatemen a chance, he needs to move through this inning very quickly so the Gatemen can hit in the 6th.
Or not move through it at all, so that way the game can't be official through 5 innings.
Well, yes, it would, because the Bourne, they're the home team, and they're winning. So it's essentially like the 9th inning.
Yep, 0-2. Outside corner called, strike 3. Tyler Fitzgerald down looking. Matulovic's 5th strikeout of the game, presented to you by the law offices of Lang, Exofaris, and Bullard.
Simply clutch from Joey Matulovic. Three pitches, 3 strikes, you're out. See ya. And he's got to get 2 more right now.
Andy Atwood trying to do something different than he did on the first at-bat. He struck out swinging. Takes a fastball outside from Matulovic, who's really been pounding the zone with fastballs this game. Here's the 1-0. Outside corner, 1-1. I've been trying to read these radar guns from the scouts just next to us, but...
Well, I mean, all 3 of those pitches from Matulovic, same spot on the outside corner.
1-1, 2-seamer outside, 2-1. Late movement on that fastball for sure. Coming back in towards the right-handed batter in Andy Atwood, the Oregon State Beaver. Outside corner, 2-2. Atwood going to be a rising junior at Oregon State. He'll be seeing a lot more playing time. However, a pretty crowded outfield still. Outside on that one, 3-2. Matulovic delivering very quickly. Maybe he understands the situation.
I think he was just told by his coaches. He really wants to help the Gatemen win.
3-2. Matulovic in the windup. The righty delivers. Slow ground ball past Matulovic. On the run, Duran makes the play, fires to first to beat Andy Atwood. A good play by Jaron Duran. Moving in towards the grass on the right side and gets it over as quickly as possible with Atwood flying down the line. 2 outs in the 5th.
Yep, and the 3rd out, he could come to the plate right now in the form of Grant Witherspoon, except he's 2 for 2 today and has one of Bourne's 2 runs. In fact, he represents the winning run right now if this score stays as is.
Witherspoon takes a ball inside. He is 2 for 2, and he's the right fielder today. He's a 2-lane green wave by way of Lakewood, Colorado. Lines it into center field for a base hit. Witherspoon on fire, 3 for all off of Joey Matulovic. He's just raking those balls, line drives, kind of just whacking his fastball around.
Well, this time I think that the batter there understood the situation as well. He knows that Matulovic is working quickly, just trying to throw strikes. And he saw one that was pretty easy to hit down the center of the plate and just drove it back up towards the middle hit of the game for Witherspoon.
So Grant Witherspoon is on first. Grant Williams at the plate. Takes a ball way up high and away. 1-0. Sable hops up to catch it. In my index of players, it's consecutive. Grant Williams, Grant Witherspoon, Grant Wolfram. Lots of Grants. Outside, 2-0.
Wolfram in the bullpen right now for the Gatemen.
Wow. Perfect timing.
Did you not know that? You just mentioned
I
Wolfram
just
out of the blue?
Wolfram out of the blue because
That's pretty impressive.
Grants consecutively in the W section of my player index. 2-0. 2 out, 5th inning. In there for a strike, inside corner fastball, 2-1. Big strike there from Matulovic. Did not want to fall behind. 3-0 on a good hitter in Williams. Grant Williams is hitting .310 this season, 22 for 71 with only 2 extra base hits, 5 RBIs. Pitches outside, 3-1 now.
Now the quick work from Matulovic may be hurting him, just delivering these balls in such speed that, especially out of the stretch, you really just want to take your time, work at your own pace, even if this rain is coming in.
The lefty, number 4, digs in. A 3-1 count. Matulovic steps off, now in the stretch. Getting set to deliver. The runner on first is Grant Witherspoon. Pickoff attempt, nothing doing. Matulovic now getting set to face Grant Williams, the Kennesaw State player. 3-1. Runner goes. It's a strike. The throw is way off, and it goes into center field. Fielding it is Kwan. He fires to third, and not in time as the runner that was originally at first, Witherspoon, goes into second, gets the base, and then the ball goes into center field, goes over to third. Witherspoon probably should have slid into third, but he didn't. He was barely safe on a throw coming in from Kwan. But now a runner just 90 feet away from making this a 3-1 game. Grant Williams is the batter. The Dunwoody, Georgia native stares down the righty, Joey Matulovic. The lefty swings and grounds it right off the foot of Matulovic. He fields it, gets it to first, not in time. The run scores. A tough break for the pitcher, Joey Matulovic. And an RBI, that should be an RBI single from Grant Williams. Scores Witherspoon. It's 3-1 Bourne in the 5th inning. So they get the run right back.
Well, I think that's on the catcher, Blake Sable. The fact that that runner scores, I mean, he would have been, you know, on the steal attempt, he just would have been on second if he had held on to that ball or if he had made an accurate throw. Instead, he's on third and able to score on an infield single.
First pitch to Scott Schreiber is skied into center field. Stephen Kwan slowly moving back, reaches his glove up and makes the grab. That retires the side in the 5th inning. The rain's coming. Off to the 6th we go, however. Here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, it's 3-1 Bourne.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Welcome back. Zach Susi is still, or excuse me, Zach Susi is the catcher. His teammate, PJ Poulin, is still on the mound. Tristan Pompey in the box. The Braves have a 3-1 lead, and it's been sloppy defense, the story of the day for the Wareham Gatemen. And that's really the difference in the game so far. Poulin, the lefty, delivers to the right-handed batter now, Tristan Pompey, this is his first appearance from the right side after facing the lefty Zach Hess twice, or the righty Zach Hess twice, batting from the left side. 0-1 coming in. Swing and a miss, pitch outside. Athletic catching move by Zach Susi.
But for what? The ball was right down the center of the plate. I don't really know why Susi ended up on his bottom after that one.
0-2 is the pitch. Tristan Pompey, the Kentucky Wildcat, waits on a breaking ball, grounds it to short. On the run, Fitzgerald over to first. Accurate throw to get Tristan Pompey. In the 6th inning, 1 out.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, the shortstop, wasted no time in throwing out Tristan Pompey right there. You know he has speed, hit leadoff for the Kentucky Wildcats in the spring. So as soon as he got that one in his glove, he threw it over. Got Pompey by a couple of steps.
1 out for Jaron Duran, who's 1 for 1 with a walk. The rain is coming soon. Fouled away by Jaron Duran, 0-1. And by coming soon, I mean any second now. One out, top half for the 6th inning. Gatemen trail 3-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. The lefty slings a fastball in the outside corner, 0-2. And now it looks like some of the fans are starting to cover themselves up.
We need to start covering our equipment up.
Yes, we do. It is.
We'll do our best to stay on the air with you, but we, at home we get the press box. Out here we only have a little bit of shelter.
0-2. Here comes the pitch to Duran. Outside, just low and outside to the Long Beach State product, Jaron Duran, hitting in the 8-hole, or the 7-hole today, excuse me. Duran, 5 triples, 27 RBIs for Long Beach State. Hit 7 for 17 in the NCAA tournament this year, into the Super Regionals, where they lost to Cal State Fullerton. Breaking ball, waits on it, grounds it right to the second baseman, Williams. Grant Williams over to Spencer Brickhouse for the 2nd out. So 2 outs for Blake Sable. And it looks like PJ Poulin's gotten a lot better with his command since that last inning. The umbrellas are starting to come up. Both teams scored a run in the 5th, but the difference in runs came in the 2nd and 3rd innings when the Bourne Braves scored twice. Sable tries to bunt. The pitch was well outside. Instead of pulling back, he decided to reach out and chase an outside pitch on the bunt attempt, and it did not work for him. It's 0-1.
Well, for a lefty, the outside pitch is the one you want to bunt when you're trying for a hit down the 3rd baseline. Now the 3rd baseman, Frige, seems a bit more aware of it.
Here's the 0-1 to Sable. Breaking ball. Don't know where that one was, but it's a ball, 1-1.
Inside.
Inside?
Yeah.
Looked like really a big frame by the catcher, Zach Susi, then. Fooled me. Brought it back about a 1.5 feet.
That's why you're not an umpire, Sam.
That's why you were an umpire, right?
I am in spirit to this day.
1-1. Swing and a miss, chasing a pitch in the dirt. 1-2 on Sable.
Changeup down low looks really good from Poulin right now. And when you can locate down in the zone, especially to a tall hitter like Sable, the 2-seamer or with a changeup, even Poulin's slider, it can be really frustrating. And all you're going to get is ground balls off a pitch like that.
As of 8:15 p.m., the edge of the storm was moving past Wareham and into the Bourne area. Chopper by Sable on the pitch. Back to the pitcher, PJ Poulin. He flips it over to Brickhouse to retire the side. We're through 5.5 here in Bourne, the Bourne Braves, up 3-1 on the Wareham Gatemen. You're listening to the Gatemen Baseball Network, and we're going to Jacob Toby for a quick Cape League update before the next half inning starts. Jacob.
Thank you very much, Sam. We'll take a look at Harwich at YD, a 7-3 win for Harwich. That one is now final. Antoine Duplantis, a home run in the top of the third, his second of the season. Jacob Billingsley goes 5 strong innings for the Mariners. No one runs, 7 strikeouts. A nice outing there for the Harwich pitcher. Falmouth at Orleans, 3-2 Falmouth, bottom of the fourth. Joshua Breaux, another home run on the season for him, gives the Commodores a 3-2 lead. Catuit at Hyannis, a 2-1 lead for Hyannis. They're in the bottom of the sixth. Zach Cohn, a home run for Catuit, his second of the season. Chris Proctor, an RBI in the bottom of the sixth, gives the Hyannis Arborhawks a 2-1 lead. Brewster at Chatham, a 7-0 lead for the Whitecaps over the Anglers. They're in the top of the fourth. Michael Curry, an RBI single. Nick Dunn, a sac fly. Hunter Bishop, an RBI single in that one. So guys, I'm getting a little bit rained on right now. Hopefully it continues to stay like it has been and not keep raining, but I don't know right now. Back to you.
The rain's coming down a little bit, and you heard there, Hyannis in the lead over Catuit, 2-1. If they can win that game, and this score holds, as we don't know how much time's left here in Bourne for these teams to play, but Hyannis trying to work their way back into the playoff picture. And they've been playing pretty well recently.
I know. That's definitely not good for the Gatemen or Gatemen fans. I mean, yeah, Hyannis is... they're definitely shortening that gap. But Wolfram, now the lefty on the mound for the Gatemen, he, like, similar to Matulovic, who just went really quickly back in the bottom of the fifth. I think he would like to try to do the same thing, maybe keep his composure a little more and still go with the same speed that he normally would. But in terms of locating and going after hitters on 0-2 and 1-2 instead of pitching around them, I think that's what Wolfram wants to do right now.
Wolfram, the big lefty, standing at about 6'6", 6'7". Taking his last warm-up toss, Sable throws down to his shortstop Kasser, and we're ready to begin this bottom half of the sixth inning. Gatemen down 3-1. The scoreboard reads 1-5-3, runs, hits, errors for the Gatemen. 3 errors, rough go for their defense so far. It's been the difference. And for the Bourne Braves, 3-7-2, runs, hits, and errors for them. Number 23, Zach Susi steps in. He's been phenomenal today. He doubled and scored. And the second has also been a stud behind home plate. Pitch from Wolfram. Grounded to second. Bobbled by Durant. Picks it up and recovers to beat Zach Susi for the first out. Wolfram, the new pitcher. And he's been pretty good this season. The big lefty. Comes in there with a big breaking ball. The sweeping breaking ball. And the fastball as well to complement. Wolfram spent 2 years at Central Michigan University before transferring to Davenport College in Michigan. Was also drafted by the hometown Detroit Tigers for him out of high school. And now Wolfram facing Spencer Brickhouse. Time is called and Sable goes out to talk to him.
Yeah, you know, I think what's more important to him right now is getting through these batters and showing off for the remaining scouts that are here instead of just going through this as quickly as possible. You know, you do want to help your team win, but in the process, that means you need to have a solid bottom of the sixth here. Give your team a chance if we play the seventh.
If we play the seventh is the current waiting game. Breaking ball by Wolfram is high. 1-0.
You know, we thought that about the sixth, too, but here we are in the bottom half of that frame. So, you know, maybe luck's on our side a bit.
Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and chopped out opposite field. Fly ball in the air. And John Topa makes the play. 2 out in the sixth. Spencer Brickhouse is 0 for 3.
Yeah, I think if Wolfram can get this third out right now, the Gatemen, they get to take their hacks in the top of the seventh. Right now, if this game were to be called in the bottom of the sixth, it's over, Bourne wins. But if you get into the seventh, then you have to allow Wareham to hit a bit.
And 2 quick outs for the Gatemen help that cause. Wolfram gets A ground ball to short. Goes through the legs of Kyle Kasser and into left. The 4th error of the game for Wareham, and it's a big one.
Well, yeah, I don't know what happened to Kyle Kasser there at short. Uncharacteristic of him. Seemed like he was really worried about the speed of Frige more than anything and wanted to quickly get that ball into his glove and out of it onto first. Instead, just goes right through the wickets, and now there's a base runner. That 3rd out becomes, you know, possibly the 4th run of this game if Jamison Hanna can do what he did back in the 2nd against the Gatemen.
Yeah, Hanna with a triple in the 2nd, but that was also off a rough defensive play. That's not scored an error, but it was certainly, you know, a play that Topa should have had.
Well, and maybe on a dry day he doesn't slip out there in left field, but definitely tough. And with the fog and now the darkness, you know, approaching 8:30 on the East Coast, it's been a tough day.
1-0. First pitch was a ball on Jamison Hanna. Pitch is on the corner for a strike. 1-1 from Wolfram. Wolfram was 13-2 with a 3.28 ERA at Davenport. That's a D2 school this season. He told me that Davenport, you know, the competition wasn't great. They used to just destroy a lot of teams they played out there. In Grand Rapids, Michigan is where he goes to college. 1-1 coming in to Jamison Hanna. The left fielder today for Bourne. Chops it right back to Kasser. He fields it cleanly this time. Goes to second to beat the lead runner, Andrew Frige, and the side's retired. Go to the 7th. The Gatemen hustling off the field in a quick manner. It's 3-1 Bourne here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Cape Cod Baseball League is all about family, and it's all about fun. Friendly's is all about family and fun and is proud to sponsor the 2017 baseball season. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu.
Welcome back. Nick Johnson, the new pitcher for the Bourne Braves, as we get set for the top half of the 7th inning. The clouds are coming in and the rain is coming as follows, so not much time left here.
Well, the Gatemen need to treat this as if it's their last time up in this game, because it very well could be. So you have Metz coming up, an experienced guy in the 9-hole. Stephen Kwan, and then Dodson after him. Part of this lineup that's already done something tonight in terms of getting the Gatemen their first run. Kwan has scored the Gatemen's only run tonight, so this is a big moment for the Gatemen. They need to try to maybe salvage a tie or even a win out of this one, but right now they're down by 2.
So the Bourne Braves go from a lefty in P.J. Poulin, swinging a miss by Metz on a fastball, 0-1, to a righty out of Rhode Island. It's Nick Johnson. The Rhode Island Ram, a Worcester, Massachusetts native, went 3-3 with a 4.31 ERA this season for the Rams. Has an 89 to 93 mile an hour fastball, breaking ball. You just heard it right there. It hit the chest protector of the catcher, but it was swung on and tipped first by Robbie Metz. It's 0-2. And he has that curveball as well. Those are his 2 main pitches. Played right at home last summer with the Ocean State Waves of the NECBL. Pitched 21 games, had a really good summer. 1.87 ERA, 46 strikeouts to 8 walks last summer for Nick Johnson. Here he is on the Cape, facing Robbie Metz, the 9-hitter. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Metz down looking. That's his third. He's out for the 3rd consecutive time today. And he's 0 for 3. Stephen Kwan is 2 for 2. He's been really the bright spot of this Gatemen lineup. Coming into this at bat at a 14 for 32 mark. The pitcher Johnson coming into today 2-0 with a 3.86 ERA in 5 appearances, 9 1/3 innings pitched for Bourne.
Yeah, 2-0 as a reliever, that's pretty good.
Pitches a strike to Stephen Kwan. Fastball 0-1. Have not seen Johnson yet this year for the Bourne Braves against the Gatemen. Swing and a miss by Kwan there, 0-2. If the score stood, it would be P.J. Poulin in line for the win. Because Zach Hess didn't throw the required amount, 5 innings for a starter. Driven out opposite field and deep by Kwan. On the run is the center fielder Atwood, and his fellow Oregon State Beaver makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, during the spring, a positional battle out in center field for both Atwood and Kwan, and in this situation, Kwan flies out to Atwood. So
just like at batting practice, shagging balls out there for his fellow teammate.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
Very nice.
Tanner Johnson's the lefty, and he's going to step in to face Nick Johnson, who's retired the first 2. Kicks and delivers a breaking ball that hung up there high, but too far outside for Tanner Dodson to make him pay. It's 1-0.
Yeah, Dodson showing bunts on that one, too.
Dodson is 1 for 2. And he fouls away, chucks his bat into the Gatemen dugout. Well, hopefully no one's hurt over there, but that bat went flying right into the Wareham dugout.
We heard screams of pain, but I think it was a joke, thankfully.
John Topa, standing on the edge of the dugout on the railing, just watched it fly by his face. He was just unfazed by that completely. We saw Tristan Pompey do the same thing back at Spillane, except Pompey was attacking the Catuit broadcasters when he did it.
You know, I remember last season, I don't remember, I wasn't here, but I've heard the stories about how the broadcasters set up over on the Gatemen opposing dugout had no netting. This year it does, but already a projectile has found its way into it at Spillane. Thankfully, nobody hurt in either instance, but that's the thing about baseball, especially in like the wet tonight. Definitely a slippery grip on that bat for Dodson.
So Dodson retrieves his bat from his teammates, laughs it off with the catcher Zach Susi, and now heads into the lefty batter's box to face the righty Nick Johnson. 1-1, 2 outs in the 7th. The Gatemen down 3-1. Fouled away on a fastball up high by Dodson, is staying alive in the count, 1-2. Dodson, remarkable so far this year, 23 for 56 on the season. 8 runs batted in, been limited hitting action, but he's been playing more and more at the plate recently. Chops it out opposite field. In the air for Jamison Hanna, who barely has to move, makes the catch to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning in relief for Nick Johnson. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left for the Wareham Gatemen to the bottom half of the 7th. We made it to the 7th inning stretch. Everyone get up. Woo! 3-1 Bourne on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back. It's the bottom half of the 7th. We hope you enjoyed your stretch. I've been standing this whole game, so I've been stretched out plenty. Welcome, Jacob Toby, our host.
What's going on? How are we doing up here?
It's been good. You know, some sloppy defense for the Gatemen today is kind of making me queasy, if that's the right term. The righty, Grant Wolfram, back on the mound. Perfectly laid down bunt, but too close to Blake Sable, so not that perfect. He throws it over to the first base, and William McIver for the first out.
I'll say this, and then I'll let Connor Federico come back on the broadcast. Rain is picking up a little bit more. This isn't a weather report. This is just my eyes telling me this. Rain's picking up a little bit more, but I'm starting to think we may get some more innings in here after this. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I look at the radar. Thanks, Chief Meteorologist Jacob Toby, but I look at the radar, and I see a large green blob approaching us at a pace of, you know, the rain's coming down now. I mean, you can see it.
What do you mean, Chief Meteorologist Jacob Toby? All he said was, it's raining harder now.
Pitch was a strike from Wolfram.
Very attentive.
The batter is Andy Atwood, the Oregon State Beaver. 0-1, 1 out, 7th inning, fouls it away, right side over the Gatemen dugout, onto the hill behind the bleacher out here in Bourne. It's 0-2 to the 9-hitter Atwood. The rain is certainly coming down. You can see it in the field, but they're going to continue play. He went around, strike 3, swinging for Andy Atwood. Grant Wolfram's first strikeout of the game, brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, attorneys at law. Claudia Chikamian on the broadcast now. Connor Federico's had enough.
Hello, everyone.
What have you seen today from the Gatemen?
I've seen a lot of rain.
Seen a lot. We all seen a lot of rain. 1-0 on Grant Witherspoon. He takes a ball up high from Grant Wolfram, who has 2 quick outs.
I thought Joey Matulovic pitched pretty well, not his normal stuff, but going up against a very tough opponent in Zach Hess, he held his own and did pretty well for the Gatemen.
Breaking ball outside to the hitter Witherspoon. Wolfram trying to get out of this inning, and for sure, I mean, had to have been impressed. 7 strikeouts for Joey Matulovic today. The defense, though, has been the difference.
Yeah.
Outside, 3-0. Now Wolfram behind in the count.
Now, you know, never was a baseball or even a softball player, but do you think it's hard to play in the rain? Like, do you think that plays into effect of the errors that are happening?
Pitcher, very hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, the ball gets waterlogged a little bit. You're not – that one hit him. Oh, maybe not. The ball 4.
It was ball 4 on the walk. Witherspoon down to first. A 2-out walk for the Bourne Braves. The second 2-out base runner in a row for them. Last time it didn't amount to much, but Grant Williams at the plate now.
You know, depending on the breaking ball you're trying to throw for a pitcher, it can actually help a little bit, the moisture, but in terms of your speed, velocity's going to come down due to the ball being heavier, and command is going to struggle with the ball slipping a bit out of your hand. And, you know, we saw what happened to John Topa. Even when it wasn't raining, the outfield was just wet, and he slipped.
First pitch, way up and in to Grant Williams. He has to duck out of the way of that one. Blake Sable out to the mound to talk to his fellow 4. Grant Wolfram 44, Blake Sable 4, batter
4 in
Grant
white.
Williams. Lots of 4s in play right now.
I'll just never get over when we saw all ones on the Spillane scoreboard the other day against the YD Red Sox.
That was something out of a movie. I don't know. That was ridiculous.
In the 11th
11th inning, 1-1, 1 out, 1 strike, 1 ball is what we saw on that scoreboard.
Heads up by our WCTV crew, nailing that
Catching
shot.
it. Grant Wolf from the lefty deals to Williams, inside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. They call him Wolfie on the Gatemen.
I wonder how long it took them to come up with that. Really clever, guys.
Was once a Central Michigan Chippewa, now goes to Davenport College, and delivers a 1-1 pitch to the righty. Lefty, excuse me. Called strike.
Davenport Panthers. Would you rather be a Chippewa or a Panther? Claudia says Chippewa.
That should have been our Twitter poll.
Ah. Did we have a Twitter poll tonight?
I don't think so. I think the rain kind of washed it away.
Because that's possible.
1-2 to Grant Williams. My scorebook's getting a little bit wet, but we are protected a little bit by a deck above us. 1-2 pitch, 2 outs. Runner goes, fouled away. So Grant Witherspoon has to run back to first. Grant Williams at the plate. Grant Wolfram on the mound. Oh my God, that is weird. Lots of Grants in play too.
Lots of 4s. What's going on?
So Grant Witherspoon on first. Grant Williams in the lefty batter's box. Grant Wolfram pitching to Blake Sable.
By the way, there are 4 4s in this situation. 44, 4, and 4.
Wolfram delivers a 1-2. The lefty and the lefty hitter, Williams, stays alive, grounds it foul down the first base line. Towards the Gatemen dugout. Count remains 1-2. Riley Gates is in the bullpen, the BYU Cougar.
He wears 18, so that sort of ruins everything if he were to come in and
Wolfram, a former pick of the Detroit Tigers. The 1-2 time is called as he was in the middle of his windup. Maybe Bourne trying to extend the length of this game.
Yeah, probably.
No, I would doubt it. But the rain coming down, and they're going to continue to play for now. It's not too hard.
They could keep playing in this. They could play 9 if it just stays this way.
The question is, will it stay this way? 1-2. Here's the pitch from Wolfram. Gunned out to deep right. Pompey is back. He's at the track, and he makes the play to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left for the Bourne Braves. To the 8th we go. The Gatemen running out of outs. It's 3-1 Braves on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today.
Kyle Kasser leads off the 8th inning. The Gatemen trailing the Bourne Braves 3-1. Back out on the mound, Nick Johnson, the righty. Number 11 in white out of Rhode Island, the Rams.
The score is 3-1 Bourne, and coming up, the batter wearing 1-3 for the Gatemen, Kyle Kasser.
Special delivery from Jacob Toby. Pitch outside, 1-0. Toby delivering some great news today around the Cape.
Also delivering pizza, as I'm now the pizza delivery man.
Here's the 1-0. Fouled away by Oregon's Kyle Kasser over the Bourne dugout, out of play towards the snack shack down the third base line.
What I missed? I was gone.
You missed Grant Wolfram pitching to Grant Witherspoon you missed Grant Wolfram pitching to Grant Williams with Grant Witherspoon leading off first. That is what you missed. And honestly, I was very confident. Lined into right field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Kyle Kasser leads off the inning with a single. And that's exactly the start the Gatemen had ordered.
Yeah, 2 for 4 now today, Kyle Kasser. Good work for him. Jacob, you also missed 44 on the mound, pitching to the batter, number 4, and catching number 4.
Lots of crazy stuff happening with jerseys and names today.
What's cooler, the Grant or the 4?
I think the Grant thing is, because their all last name is W, too. It's Grant Wolfram Williams.
Oh, that is really crazy. Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. Bananas. I'm allergic to nuts.
All right. Runner leads off first. It's Kyle Kasser. Willie McIver, the righty, at the plate. He can tie the game with one swing. Takes a fastball inside, 1-0. But right now, just trying to advance the runners, work on inning here. The Gatemen have 4 errors. They're pretty much lucky to be in this game still. John Topa on deck. Here's the pitch to McIver. He pops it up, foul out of play over the Gatemen dugout. And the squad of school children going to chase it down. There's about 10 of them out there fighting to the death.
They love those baseballs. Oh, is it here at Bourne where they... Yeah, it is here where they get Friendly's coupons for returning the foul balls. Such great incentive.
Well, I thought Friendly's was out of business at this point. 1-1.
That's obnoxious.
Most of them in Connecticut are gone. 1-1. Willie McIver's the batter. Breaking ball way up there. That one went up and never came down.
Well, it did thanks to Zach Susie's glove.
He's been great all night, the Yukon Husky. He knows that there's no Friendlies in Yukon or in Connecticut.
There's literally a Friendlies in Bourne.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I guess you haven't driven by it. Oh, no, maybe it's in Sagamore.
There's also one in
Which is in the town of Bourne.
There's also one in Barnstable. 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. And now Nick Johnson is in danger of putting the first 2 men on base.
I have to say, Friendly's has been a mainstay on the Cape for quite some time. Yes, there is one in Sagamore, there is one in Barnstable, and it's very popular still.
It was very popular.
They're the sponsor of the All-Star game.
It was very popular. Is it really?
Yes.
It was very popular in Connecticut, but then 2 of them closed around near me. So I just thought they were kind of going down the drain. 3-1. Outside corner keeps McIver in the batter's box for now. 3-2.
To be fair, I thought the same thing about Krispy Kreme. They all closed down on Long Island. Then I went away to college, and I was like, wait, these still exist? Apparently they're everywhere, but, like, near me.
Well, this is a big moment in the game right now. Willie McIver, the Washington Husky, the righty batter, staring down Nick Johnson. He digs in, waiting for a payoff pitch. No outs in the 8th inning. The runner on first, Kyle Kasser. The tying run at the plate in McIver. Here's the pitch from the righty Johnson out of Rhode Island. Delivers. Outside, and it's a walk. McIver on to first. 2 men on in the 8th. And the tying run is at first.
Rain lightening up, by the way. We might see the full 9.
It's lightening up for now, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down even harder soon. But I'll be the optimist here. Let's say we should be finishing this game at this point. 2 innings to go. Or more. I mean, you never know.
Well, right now, the Bourne manager, Shapiro, taking a nice leisurely stroll out to the mound. He does say he's going to make a pitching change.
Harvey Shapiro points to the bullpen. There will be a pitching change. We'll go to break, and we'll tell you who it is after this on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Stay tuned. The tying runs on first for the Wareham Gatemen.
League, and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or New England fried shrimp. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
Ryan Feltner, the Ohio State Buckeye, is the new pitcher for the Bourne Braves. He's going to face John Topa with 2 men on. Nobody out. 8th inning. Gatemen had that tying run on first base. It's Willie McIver. Topa shows bunt, pulls it back on a high fastball. 1-0 from Feltner. Feltner, mid-90s fastball.
Hit 3 right there.
Has a curveball. Late fade on a changeup as well. He played for the Brewster Whitecaps in 2016, went 0-3 with a 14.88 ERA in 6 appearances. Here he is. Bunt laid down by Topa. Right back to the pitcher. Feltner fires over to first to beat Topa. Moving over to second is McIver. Moving over to third is Kyle Kasser. 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out for the Gatemen slugger.
Well, with the Gatemen, no matter who lays down the bunt, everybody's got speed in this lineup. You usually expect that even on a sack bunt that there's a good chance that a Gatemen runner might beat it out. John Topa really wasn't even trying to bunt for a hit there. Just got it down on the 1-0 pitch. Good work by him. And now this is all in Tristan Pompey's hands.
McIver has speed on second. Pompey is the batter. He's a lefty. Well, he's a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Fouls the pitch away. Was swinging for the fences there on the first pitch. It's 0-1. Pompey is 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the 4th inning. Then got to second before the inning ended. Feltner sets and delivers, flown out to left center. Coming on is the center fielder Atwood. He makes the play, tagging toward home and scoring is Kyle Kasser. Remaining at second, William McIver. It is 3-2 Bourne on a sac fly from Tristan Pompey. Every run counts, but the Gatemen really would have liked to hit there.
Well, it's not like this inning is over. You still have the tying run in scoring position in McIver, who can score from either second or third with 2 outs. You have Jaron Duran at the plate. He has a few RBIs this summer. Certainly has the ability to get a base hit here. A good work by Tristan Pompey. You might have wanted that one a little deeper out in the center, but really Kyle Kasser, his speed challenges the center fielder Atwood, and the throw was a bit off target.
Feltner, the Ohio State Buckeye, facing a Long Beach State, Jaron Duran. Pitch outside on a fastball, 1-0 to Duran. Feltner 1-5 with a 6.32 ERA for Ohio State this year. A .293 opposing batting average against him in the Big Ten. Here's the pitch low 2-0 to Duran. They love to get another guy on here with 2 out, but at the same time, a hit likely scores McIver. He has speed.
Hitters count here, 2-0. Let's see what Feltner goes to.
Duran, the lefty, facing the righty Feltner. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled away over the snack shack down the third base line and out of play.
That fastball, one of the fastest we've seen tonight, 95 miles per hour out of Feltner's arm. So right now it looks like the Bourne Braves, they wanted to start this game with high heat, and they're trying to end it right now. I know it's only the top of the 8th, but Feltner can give you a good amount of innings.
Blake Sable is on deck with his catcher's knee pads on, ready to get out on the field quickly if this inning ends here. Duran takes low, 3-1. Feltner having some trouble throwing strikes early on.
Again, 95 miles an hour. Wow. I mean, for Duran, you have to have such a good eye, locate where that ball's going to be as soon as it's thrown in order to hang on. And he fouled off a 2-0 before. Now he's got the hitter's count again, 3-1.
Feltner had 28 walks with Ohio State this year. Here's the 3-1. Outside, Duran walks. McIver holds at second. First and second, 2 outs. Blake Sable takes his catcher's pads off and walks in to bat the USC Trojan against the Ohio State pitcher, Ryan Feltner. And this is a turning point, an integral part of this game right now is this at-bat for Blake Sable.
Well, so was Duran's at-bat, and that walk really doesn't matter all that much. The situation is still the Gatemen have to get an RBI base hit, which they have not had over the course of the past 3 days, and that's pretty frustrating.
Sable trying to change that trend. The lefty catcher holds the umpire at home plate. And calls for time. Now steps back in. Runners go. Pitches in the dirt. They're both safe. Wow.
McIver had such a good jump, even if that was right down the middle or a pitch out for the catcher, Susie, that would have been fine. You know, it's not conventional to try to take third with 2 outs with your catcher, but Willie McIver has such good awareness on the base paths, knows that Feltner wasn't paying much attention to him, so now the tying runs at third, leading runs at second. Still, the Gatemen have to get a hit because there's 2 outs.
Sable held up on the pitch in the dirt. It's 1-0 from Feltner. Hitting 190, takes a strike on the inside part of the plate. 1-1.
Sable's due for an RBI base hit, just like the entire Gatemen team. I mean, we've seen them come up short with runners on third and 2 outs over these past couple of days.
Sable only 190 this season, only 4 RBIs for him. Here's the pitch, chopped to the pitcher. He bobbles it and then gets it over to first. A good recovery for the pitcher Feltner to get it back to the first baseman. Brickhouse to retire the side. The Gatemen get 1 run back on 1 hit, no errors. They leave 2 men on and both in scoring position. A lost opportunity to tie the game or take the lead to the bottom half of the 8th. It's 3-2 Bourne here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
It's back. The 2017 Friendlies Cape League All-Star Game will be played at Spillane Field, the Wareham Gatemen. Mark the date on your calendar, Saturday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., but the gates open at 2 p.m. One highlight will be the home run contest. There will also be a draft session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Be sure to buy your tickets now right here at the merchandise stand. Tickets are just $5, and part of the proceeds will support our Wareham Gatemen.
Nebraska, Scott Schreiber.
Welcome back. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Grant Wolfie back out on the mound for the Gatemen.
Woo! Sorry.
No, that was necessary. Robbie Metz, excuse me, I'm on the wrong side of the scorebook. Scott Schreiber is at the plate. Robbie Metz is at third base. Schreiber, the DH, out of Nebraska, is 0 for 3 today. Wolf from the lefty facing the righty in Schreiber. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 1-0. Schreiber is hitting .275 with 22 hits this season. Only 3 of them are extra base hits. Swings and misses, 1-1. 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. So 5 extra base hits, excuse me. Also, 16 strikeouts, just 1 walk. That's a strikeout to walk ratio of 16.00 for Scott Schreiber. 2 significant figures. Inside, 2-1.
Just a mathematician wizard. Meteorology, math, geography. I
Only
don't
one
know
of
what to
those
expect
math.
out of you.
2-1. Here comes the pitch, and it's fouled back over our heads behind home plate, over the hill towards a newly constructed building behind Doran Park.